Sorry, I do apologise about that. The audio should be okay right now. So just running through the lineups for Everton, it is Jordan Pickford starting a goal, which I'm sure comes as good news to Chelsea. They're playing what it does appear to be a 3-4-3 with Mason Holgate, Yerry Mina and Michael Keane playing across the back three. In the midfield forward is Ben Godfrey, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Allen and Gylfi Sigurdsson, who today captains the side. And then a front three of Alex Iwobi, Richarlison and the Premier League leading goal scorer Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Chelsea make 9 changes to the team that drew with Krasnodar in the Champions League during the week. Edouard Mendy starts in goals. Reece James, Kurt Zouma, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell across the back four. N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic in the double pivot with Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Timo Werner playing behind Olivier Giroud, who's been in a rich vein of form recently. For Chelsea, I suppose the big surprise is neither Christian Pulisic nor Hakim Ziyech make the matchday squad for this one. Faustino Anjorin and Billy Gilmore, who made their Champions League debuts during the week, both make it on the bench as well. Two really hot prospects for the future. Not much firepower on the Everton bench, but they'll be hoping the team out there on the pitch can get the job done. Now, we'll also be keeping an eye on the Madrid derby as Real Madrid host Atletico Madrid at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano. Big game over there in Spain with Atletico Madrid top of the table and Real Madrid 6 points behind, having played a game more. The lineups there: former Chelsea goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Ferland Mendy, Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane and Dani Carvajal at the back. Midfield trio of Luka Modric, Casemiro and Toni Kroos, and a front three of Vinicius Jr., Karim Benzema and Lucas Vazquez. Atletico Madrid, who are unbeaten in La Liga this season, start with Jan Oblak in goal. Former Spurs man Kieran Trippier in right back, Mario Hermoso in left back, and a centre back pairing of Felipe and Stefan Savic. The typical 4-4-2 from Diego Simeone sees Marcus Llorente starting on the right, Hector Herrera and Koke in the middle, Yannick Carrasco on the left, and Luis Suarez partnering João Felix up front. Two very strong benches for either side there. Real Madrid having a strong defensive few on the bench with Marcelo, Odriozola and Militao, Nacho Fernandez, Isco, Federico Valverde, Rodrigo and Marco Asensio make it on the bench as well. And for Atletico Madrid, they have a couple of goalkeepers there: Simo Versalico, Renan Lodi, Angel Correa, Lucas Torreira, Vitolo, Jeffrey Kondogbia, Saul Niguez, Thomas Lamar and Ivan Saponic on the bench for them. So two potentially really exciting games tonight. One, of course, in the Premier League, one in La Liga. Earlier on today, Aston Villa scored a late winner from the penalty spot. At the time, they were a man down to win 1-0 away to Wolves. Dwight Gale come off the bench for Newcastle to score the winner against his former side, West Brom, as Newcastle scored in after just 20 seconds, and a late goal as well to beat West Brom by 2-1. And goalless Manchester derby at Old Trafford. A rare occurrence in that fixture for it to finish 0-0. But I suppose good news for Spurs that both teams dropped points in that one. But Everton-Chelsea historically, recently, has been a very, very exciting fixture. So I'm really looking forward to this one as well, keeping an eye on the Madrid derby. Before, about 8 minutes out from kickoff here, before those games do get started, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel lately. We hit 4,000 subscribers during the week. So I want to say thank you very much for that. It was a big milestone for myself, and I'm going to try and hit 5,000 before the end of the January transfer window. So if you do want more of these watch-alongs, the majority of this content is Spurs-based. If you want more of these watch-alongs, including Tottenham Hotspur transfer talk as well, coming up in January, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to get your score predictions in the live chat there. We have a few people joining us: Silver Surfer, Vignesh, Toby Grayling, and Thomas James Smith joining us. Welcome all along to the stream. Get your score predictions for both these games in there. I'm going to go try and get my streams up and running. Yeah, make sure to get your score predictions in. I'm expecting a high-scoring affair in this Everton-Chelsea game. I think probably the best result for Spurs will be a win for Everton, but it could definitely go either way. You know, Everton have had a massive drop in form since the opening weeks of the season, but anything is possible when they do face Chelsea. We've seen that in the past, so it'll definitely be an interesting watch there. And as for the Madrid derby, I couldn't even begin to predict what will happen there because of how unpredictable that league has been so far this season. You know, Barcelona currently sitting in 9th with just 14 points after 10 games. And of course, Atletico Madrid top of the table. They've been playing outstandingly, really showing the value of this Diego Simeone defensive style. They've really mastered it this season. A fantastic team they have put together there. So it'll be a very interesting fixture in that one. We've Vignesh saying Everton 2, Chelsea 2. Adam Phillip, welcome along to the stream, saying Chelsea 3-0, but hope Everton win. And Vignesh as well saying Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 2. Yeah, look, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Atletico do nick that one. And similarly there in the Everton game, I think Vignesh, it will be a very close affair, I do think. So it'll be very interesting to see how these two games do develop. Thomas saying 2-1 Everton, come on the Toffees, 2-0 Spurs, Madrid to win 3-0. Of course, Tottenham facing Crystal Palace at 2:15 in the Premier League tomorrow. We visit Selhurst Park with a fantastic record against Crystal Palace, having won 9 of our last 10 games against them, keeping 8 clean sheets, 6 of those finishing 1-0. So I think Tottenham will certainly be very confident going into this one. I want to get your opinions on these lineups for these games as well, because I'm not too sure about injury news. I know Christian Pulisic has recently come back from an injury, but I was quite surprised to see him left out of the matchday squad altogether. And the same with Hakim Ziyech. Again, I'm not sure if there is an injury there, but very interesting choices from Frank Lampard in there, and as well with Timo Werner starting out on the left and Olivier Giroud getting the nod ahead of Tammy Abraham in the middle. And as for Everton, Gylfi Sigurdsson starting at left wing back, it seems like, of course, there is potential there for a fourth back with Mason Holgate moving out to the left and Ben Godfrey playing right back. There's a few different formations they can play there. But make sure to get down in the live comments your opinions on those lineups as we approach kickoff here. About 5 minutes to go. Adam Phillips saying even Barca look at Arsenal to feel better about themselves. Yeah, as I said, let's take a quick look at the La Liga table, because I know not a lot of people will be too familiar with it at the moment, but it certainly does not make good reading for Barcelona, and not for Real Madrid either. If I can find this, Atletico Madrid currently sitting top of the league. See if I can zoom this in a bit. Atletico Madrid currently sitting top there on 26 points, having won 8 of their first 10 games, still undefeated. Real Madrid is sitting in 4th. They've lost 3 times, including their last outing at home to Alaves. Only scored 17 goals in their first 11. And I've actually just seen that Atletico Madrid have only conceded 2 goals in their first 10 games. Insane defensive record. And then one of the biggest surprises there, Barcelona sitting in 9th, level on points with Alaves down in 14th. If I can see the bottom of the table, Barcelona closer to the relegation zone than they are to the top 4. A massive surprise there. Only 3 points. They're closer to the bottom of the table than they are to the top 4, which is a crazy thing for Barcelona. But yeah, sitting down there in 9th with just 14 points. Massive concern for them, no doubt about that. Let's take a few more of your comments here as we approach kickoff in these games. Adam Phillip, or I've just read that comment. Vignish saying, where's James? James Rodriguez is injured. He picked up a knock and he was ruled out of the game yesterday, I believe it was. Ronald Koeman, or not Ronald Koeman, he's the Barcelona manager. Carlo Ancelotti stuck in the past there. Carlo Ancelotti confirming he would not be fit for this game. The English Yid, welcome along to the stream, saying, hi Matt, keep up the good shows you put on. You're very good at what you do. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And I think this is a 2-1 Everton win. Come on, you Spurs. Silver Surfer saying, where do you see Chelsea at the end of the season? I think Chelsea will be right up there. I really do think we will see Chelsea right up there in the title race towards the end of the season. I can't see them winning it. Don't get me wrong, they've put together a fantastic squad there, but I just don't think Frank Lampard will have what it takes to see this one through to the end of the season, which of course is great news for Spurs, because I think we will be in there, we'll be there or thereabouts as well at the end of the season as the players make their way out onto the pitch here. Gylfi Sigurdsson captaining Everton, of course, leading them out. And again, fantastic to see fans back on the ground as Everton give them a round walking out onto the pitch here. The fans in full voice. Before we get started, about 4 minutes to go to kickoff, I just want to give anyone who is new to the channel, here's a quick message. Please make sure to smash the thumbs up where if you're looking forward to this stream. It'll help me gauge whether you want more of these non-Spurs watch-alongs in the future. Don't forget, we are also keeping an eye on Atletico Madrid and their visit to Real Madrid to try and extend their lead at the top of the table. They could move 9 points clear of Real Madrid with the game in hand with 3 points tonight. The English Shid saying, I think Everton look dangerous up top. If they get at Chelsea, they need a big result for Carlo. Really, the wheels have fallen off lately. And I fully agree with that one. Everton started the season superbly. Of course, began their season with a win against Spurs. But in the last couple of weeks, they've suffered some disappointing defeats and disappointing results. But look, I think Carlo Ancelotti is the best man to get things back on track there with that. William saying, evening, Matt, love the content. What's your lineup prediction for tomorrow? Thanks very much, William. I appreciate that. My lineup prediction, I don't think we'll see too many surprises. I'm thinking it'll be Hugo Lloris in goal, Serge Aurier at the back with, of course, Toby and Dyer in the centre, Sergio Reguilon on the left, midfield, and Ndombele, Sissoko and Højbjerg, and then Kane, Son, And I suppose that the third attacker is, and for a while has always been the tricky thing in predicting the lineup for Spurs, but I expect to see either Lucas or Bergwijn. I don't think we'll see Bale. As Mark Shepard there is asking, do you think Bale should start tomorrow? I don't think he should, to be honest. I don't think he should be chosen for the team just because of his status or anything like that, or the amount of money he's been paid. At the moment, he's not the best option for us out there. It is either Lucas or Bergwijn, because Eric Lamela is out injured. I think if Lamela was fit, he'd be my first name on that team sheet, especially for the type of game it's going to be tomorrow. Excuse me, but yeah, I don't think Bale should start tomorrow. Big Nash saying Spurs have Palace tomorrow and midweek Anfield trip. Two very difficult fixtures. There's no doubt about that. Palace one is definitely a banana skin for us, but I have full faith in the team for getting that one done. Thomas saying, agree with you, Matt, about Chelsea, but they will fall short. Thumbs up, smash. Thank you very much, Thomas. I appreciate that. I do feel Chelsea will fall short at the end of the season, which is, of course, great news for us. Just running through the lineups here, and BT Sport are expecting this to be a 4-3-3 for Everton. As I said, potentially Ben Godfrey and Mason Holgate in fullbacks, with a midfield trio of Sigurdsson, Allen and Doucouré, rather than Godfrey playing on the right of a 4 in the midfield. And of course, as expected, a 4-2-3-1 for Chelsea. Just going through the lineups here in Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid as well, with those both games getting underway in the next couple of seconds. As I said, make sure if you haven't already, get your score predictions in for Everton against Chelsea and Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid in the live chat. We'll run through as many of those as we can. Two big games in both leagues, and I think two games that could potentially be high-scoring affairs, very entertaining affairs. Everton-Chelsea historically has been a really, really enjoyable watch, and the only thing that can make it more enjoyable would be a victory for Everton, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes as the referee gets ready to start this game off. And the other side, Zidane and Diego Simeone shake hands as they prepare for the first Madrid derby of the season. Thomas saying, no, Bale hasn't got 90 minutes of backtracking in him. It's that simple. Yeah, I agree with that. He doesn't have the fitness, I suppose, to maintain the defensive style of play that we do have. Both teams here taking the knee just before kickoff. Big Nash saying, yes, Lucas and Bergwijn will do defensive duties as well. Agreeing there with Thomas. And we are underway at Goodison Park now. Chelsea kicking from left to right. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be an entertaining affair. Sorry, let me fix that there. That should be ticking along at the bottom. Now, there we go. Adam Phillips saying, I can see Winks ending up at Everton. I think that is the general consensus, to be honest, that Winks will end up at a mid-table team. I know Everton perhaps this season hoping to be a bit more than that, but I think that's the type. Everton are the type of team where he could end up. Harry Kane saying, what is the best case scenario going into the next few weeks? I think, look, a draw here tonight would be good for Spurs if we're looking at the short term future. But if we're looking long term, I think an Everton win will do very good for us, because, like I said, I think Chelsea will be up there with us at the end of the season. The English Shade saying, Matt, do you think it's taken longer than Mourinho first thought to get Bale's fittest, because it seems Mourinho doesn't fancy him in league games at the moment? Look, that's definitely a potential. Mourinho certainly wasn't oblivious to the fact that it would take a while to get him to full fitness, but I think we're all surprised by how long it's taken for him to get back to his best. Mark Pitts saying, I'm going for a 2-1 win. Yeah, look, I don't think anyone would be surprised by that. It's going to be a tough fixture, definitely, but we'll have to wait and see. If there are any Chelsea or Everton fans in the live chat, make sure to make yourselves known. I'd love to see a few of you in here tonight, aside from just the normal Spurs fans. Yeah, and the shape from Everton at the moment, just get a quick look at it here. Yeah, it's looking to be a 4-3-3. Sigurdsson, Abdoulaye Doucouré and Allan. Kind of Sigurdsson sitting in front of the defensive duo. So a lot of protection in front of that back four for Everton with the double pivot in there. But a chance now for Chelsea to break early on. His team of Werner's running down the left, trying to take on Michael Keane. Olivier Giroud finding space in the box. Or is it Havertz pulls it back to Reece James? Good defending there by Mason Holgate. Or Ben Godfrey, that is, apologies. And a very early chance there for Chelsea to get forward. A lot of space down the left-hand side for Timo Werner. And he pulls a good ball back to Havertz at the edge of the box. But Havertz, yeah, he doesn't... I think he's caught for decisions there. He's Giroud running ahead of him and Reece James coming outside. I think he was struggling to make a decision there on that one. Simon Hill saying Bergwijn, the best right back in the league at the moment. I'm not too sure about that, but he's doing great defensive work. He's not the only one. Sissoko and Aurier on that side as well doing absolutely outstanding. Chelsea trying a corner routine here, but Alex Iwobi gets a nick in it. It's Reece James, gives it back out to Mason Mount, who's offside. It's a poor one from Chelsea. Mark Shepherd saying, what do you think about Bale playing more centrally? I'm just not sure he has the pace anymore to play on the wing. Look, I think that's definitely an option. He doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the fitness really to play on the wing anymore. Or at the moment, of course, that could come back, and hopefully it does, but it's not looking too likely at the moment, unfortunately. But playing centrally is definitely an option. But I do think there are players just ahead of him in the pecking order there. So perhaps on the wing is his best option at the moment because Lamela is out injured. Simon Hill saying, what channel is this on? It is on BT Sport 1, the Everton-Chelsea game, and I'm watching the Real Madrid-Atletico game on, I think it's a Russian channel. Everton looking for the first spell of possession here in the opposition half, and Allen tries to sweep it forward, but it's easily defended. And Decore here flicks it into Iwobi, trying to take it down in the box. Iwobi, that's good defending there from Mason Mount, dropping deep to nullify the threat there of the former Arsenal man. William Groom saying, Matt, if you could choose one player from each team playing tonight to play for Spurs, who would they be? That is a very good question there from William. Make sure to get in the live chat your opinions on this as well. If you could pick any one player from Atletico, or any one player from Everton, Chelsea, we go Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid as well, to play for Spurs, who would they be? Sadly, with Everton, someone like Abdoulaye Doucouré, I think could be a really good addition. Our defence or midfield is probably the strongest area of our team at the moment, but he's a powerful player, really, really good defensively. He's good on the ball as well. He's good in the air. He's disciplined, and he has Premier League experience, so I wouldn't mind seeing him in the team. From Chelsea, Timo Werner maybe. I know he hasn't had the best start, but he definitely has a lot of potential. He's a really, really good player, and he would really suit our counter-attacking style very well. Real Madrid, probably Sergio Ramos, I think, is the easy answer in that one. And from Atletico, I'd like to see Saul Niguez, again, another midfielder. If we want to stray away from midfielders, I think Joao Felix, the striker, would be a really good addition to our team. Vignesh saying, who would you think about Davinson Sanchez's future at Spurs? I think his days at Tottenham are numbered. Mourinho's certainly not a fan of him. He's not getting into the team, and I don't think he deserves to be in the team at the moment, to be honest. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Davinson Sanchez moving on sometime soon. Thomas saying, Winks doesn't have the attributes of Sissoko. We're too slow when he's on the pitch. And I agree. I think when we played the way we played under Pochettino, I think Winks was a really good player, kind of there to be sitting behind the attacks and keeping things ticking over. He was kind of the metronome there in the middle of the park. But at the moment, when we're playing more defensively and we get on the ball, we need to move it quickly. We need to get forward quickly. I don't think Winks is the best player for that one. Just to remind you of the scores in the Premier League earlier today, Aston Villa scored a late winner in the Midlands derby at Molineux from the penalty spot. After seeing Douglas Luiz sent off, they still managed to put the ball in the back of the net and win that one by 1-0. At St James Park, Newcastle played their first Premier League game in over 2 weeks following their postponement against Aston Villa last week. They ran out 2-1 winners against West Brom, with Dwight Gale coming off the bench to hunt his former side with a really, really good goal there, a fantastic header off a really good cross from Murphy. And it was a chance here for Charlison. It's a tame effort. It's an easy save for Edouard Mendy. A chance here for Real Madrid. Benzema pulls it back. It's at the edge of the box. Toni Kroos has a go. It goes just wide. Oblak was worried there with that one. Or is it Luka Modric there with the shot potentially? Yeah, poor Manchester derby at Old Trafford, 0-0. It finished. There was a penalty given for United in the second half, but it was eventually overturned by VAR. Not too much to shout about in that one. Thomas saying Werner is like an old English centre forward, strong, but he will take a while. Sanchez is a liability. Ratty Star, channel member. Steve, welcome along to the stream. If any of you do want to become a channel member and have custom emojis beside your name like Ratty Star does there, make sure to go down and hit that join button where everything will be explained. Steve asks, what do you make of Bruno Fernandes winning Player of the Month for November? Look, I think, I know if it's a bit of a conspiracy or whatever, but I think it comes down to the politics of it all. United, of course, a bigger club than anyone else and all that. Don't get me wrong, Bruno Fernandes is a fantastic player. He's keeping Man United afloat and his numbers are exceptional. But I think that perhaps there were players who had a better month of November and could have deserved that award over him. Vignesh saying, yeah, we can sell Sanchez and buy Skriniar or Demiral. Tell your centre-back options. Yeah, I think if we do get in some funds for Davinson Sanchez, they could definitely be used to fund the move for Milan Skriniar. You know, at the moment, probably our main transfer target seemed to be Dominic Szoboszlai, who has now joined RB, or is set to join RB Leipzig. Now, that does, of course, open up the potential for a departure from RB Leipzig for Marcel Sabitzer, but I'm not sure about that. If it is a case of looking for a centre-back, I think Skriniar will be my number one option. Barry Demiral, a fantastic player, but he suffers from injuries too much. I think he said 2 ACL injuries in the last year or so, which would definitely be a big concern. The English Yid saying, Matt, if come January and we're top of the league, can you see Mourinho resting the spine of the team for the league games and mix it up in cup games? I think Mourinho wants to prioritise every trophy. Chance here for Everton. Sigurdsson with the corner and Yerry Mina gets his head in it, but he fires it over the bar. I think Mourinho wants all the trophies. He's not going to prioritise one over the other. We've got a handy draw in the FA Cup, so I assume there will be a lot of rotation there against Marine. Of course, they're in the 8th or 9th division of English football, so I can't see him risking anyone in that game, really. We don't need to. So I think a game like that, we could potentially see some rotation, but in the EFL Cup quarter-final now, I think we play a full-strength team against Stoke. I know it's at the end of December, but in the semi-final there, we couldn't end up playing Brentford or Newcastle. I think it'll be something similar, full-strength side, not risking anything there. But once we are playing the big teams in the FA Cup, there's no doubt, and Europa League as well, I think he will go all out. We saw that on Thursday when he brought on Kane and Son. Welcome DJ Samuel to the stream. Vignesh saying, here it's night 1:30 in India. Well, thank you for staying up to watch the stream. About 9 minutes into these games here, and it is still Everton 0, Chelsea 0, and Real Madrid 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Two massive games in each of these divisions. Everton Chelsea, of course, a big game for Spurs as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this one fares. Of course, a very interesting watch. Usually Everton against Chelsea. Seen a lot of high scoring games. As Benzema lets one rip it out with his left foot from the edge of the box, crashes back off the post. A really good effort there on his weak foot. And Ferland Mendy just loses out there to Kieran Trippier. But what an effort that was by Benzema. The first real moment of quality in either of these two games. It's Ben Chilwell. Is he injured here? No, he's not. Thomas saying Mourinho will be smart. There's players he trusts more than others, but his mind games are superb. Definitely. We had the conversation a while ago about Harry Winks, and I think Dele Alli is in that same bracket. There are players he trusts, and there are players he doesn't trust. I think Davinson Sanchez will fall into that bracket even of players that Mourinho just doesn't seem to have faith in. So he will rotate, I suppose, but it won't be mass rotation where it's 11 changes for a Wednesday game or for a Thursday game, whatever it is. I think he will rotate, but sensibly. And as Thomas says, his mind games are superb. Oh, a chance here. Oh, Benzema. It was a cross in from the right-hand side. I think it's Felipe who's rising to try and get his head in it, and he just completely mistimes it. And it glances along his head, and it comes to Benzema at the back post, but he just didn't have any time to react to it. That's poor defending. He's tried to catch it on the volley, but the ball's kind of got caught under his feet. And he sliced that one wide. But a good start here for Real Madrid, of course. As we said, Atletico top of the table. As I just showed a replay here of Benzema's shot, and that's actually a save by Jan Oblak. Benzema lets one rip with his left foot. It's gone right in the top corner. That's a world-class save from Jan Oblak. Absolutely fantastic save there. Just about gets his fingertips onto it and deflects it onto the post. We've Rob Hogan. Welcome along to the stream, Rob. There was no need for this, but Rob says, at what stage of the season do you think Tottenham will do their usual Tottenham job this year? I think you'll be waiting a while if you're waiting for us to do that. I can see us winning something this season. If it's the Premier League, it's the Premier League. Look, we'll have to wait and see. It's a possibility, but I don't think we'll be doing a Spurs or doing anything Spursy under Jose Mourinho this season. Fairly even start here at Goodison Park. Neither team really able to create anything yet. There was one chance for Richarlison, a half chance kind of getting in behind Chelsea, but Zuma was coming across to cover well, and it was a tame effort in the end, saved by Ferland Mendy. Kovacic crossing there, clear by Michael Keane, and Richarlison very calm there to take that past Kai Havertz. Not much noise coming from the fans back in Goodison Park today. They're fairly quiet early on, but then again, it is only 2,000, so you can't expect too much from them. Kante takes past Allen in the middle of the park, and it's a poor pass, well defended by Ben Godfrey. Thomas Jane saying, would love Oblak at Spurs, and I agree with you. Look, I mean, chance here, Timo Werner picking it up in the box. It's a loose touch, and it's back to Pickford, and he's able to clear. Jan Oblak for me is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I really do think he is. And look, I love Hugo Lloris. Of course, he's our club captain. He's a World Cup winning captain. So I wouldn't want to replace Lloris, but if we had to, I think Jan Oblak is certainly an option there. We'd never be able to afford him, but he's a very, very good goalkeeper. William says, in regards to tactics tomorrow, will we be laying deep and wanting Crystal Palace to attack us, or will we be more on the front foot? I think it'll be a really balanced approach from Mourinho. I don't think he's going to go all out and try and take the game to Palace, because they definitely have the potential to catch us in the counter-attack. But I don't think he'd be parking the bus either. I think it'll be a more balanced approach. I suppose when we're defending, it will probably be those a low block with two blocks of four in front of the goalkeeper. But when we get forward, I think we'll be trying to keep more sustained possession and trying to keep the ball in the opposition half a bit more than usual. Vignesh saying, where will Pochettino go, Man United or Real Madrid? Look, I think Zinedine Zidane is in a very precarious situation at Real Madrid right now, and he's definitely helped by the fact that he did make it into the last 16 of the Champions League with that victory on the last day against was it Borussia Mönchengladbach they beat, or Shakhtar Donetsk on the last day. He was saved by that. I think if Real Madrid had dropped down to the Europa League, he would have been sacked, and Pochettino would probably be the first name on their list of potential replacements. But I'd be surprised if Pochettino goes to Man United either now or in the future. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job there is pretty safe for now. But that can change at any moment. You know, a bad run of 6 or 7 games, all of a sudden they're in the Europa League, they're out of the title race. They're, you know, potentially falling out of the race for top 4. I can see Solskjaer leaving there before the end of the season, but I don't think Pochettino will be the replacement. William Groom saying Oblak would be my choice, or Felix from Atletico Madrid. J Spurs, welcome along to the stream. Inat Nurse saying, any news on Sabitzer? There's no news at the moment. It just seems to be still interest. There's a few outlets claiming that Tottenham do have an interest in him, but there's nothing concrete yet. As Real Madrid get into the box here, Lucas Vazquez is cross blocked and it's out for a corner for Real Madrid. Dominic Szoboszlai, who did seem to be our number one attacking midfield target, does look set to join Leipzig. So while we have missed out on him, I think it does potentially open up the potential departure for Sabitzer. We'll have to wait and see where he might go. Corner here for Real Madrid. I think it's their first of the game. Everyone taking up their positions at the front post. Sergio Ramos are looking to make a run to the back. In it comes. Oh, and it's in, and it's 1-0 to Real Madrid, and it's Casemiro getting his head on that one. He's one of the last men you'd expect to be rising up at the corner, but it's a good delivery from the right hand side. It's out swinging. As I said, everyone taking up their position at the front post, and Casemiro has managed to find some space, and it's a good header beating Oblak at his near post. No one on the post there for Atletico Madrid, which is a bit of a strange one, especially from such a defensive team. But they have taken the lead now, Real Madrid, and perhaps deservedly so, because a lot of the game has been played in Atletico's defensive third. Benzema testing the keeper early on, forcing a really good save from Jan Oblak. But Oblak hasn't been able to keep him out this time. I think they'll be really disappointed with the defending there. There's Carrasco, is that Felipe, and Joao Felix all just standing behind Casemiro. A free header on the edge of the 6-yard box. That's really poor defending from Atletico. Not something you'd expect to see from them, but it is 1-0 in that one to Real Madrid. Potentially a big goal, a big goal in that title race. Will move Real within 3 points of their local rivals. Merrick, welcome along. I'm doing great. Really enjoying these games so far. How are you doing? Thanks a million for joining us. The English Yid saying, I can't see us falling off the rails under Mourinho. This guy is different to Poch. He's installed the mentality and getting the players to believe in winning at all costs. And look, I agree with you. I think we've seen a lot of Mourinho teams kind of falling off the rails after 2-3 seasons or whatever it is. But you know, he said he's a new manager, he's a new man, and I think from what we've seen on the pitch, perhaps that could be true. The way with the Ndombele situation, the way he is dealing with Dele Alli and Harry Winks, I think is different to how he's done anything in the past. But look, we'll have to wait and see. With Mourinho, there's always potential for things to fall apart. Inat Nurse saying Sabitzer was good today. I didn't get to watch the Leipzig game at all. Let's have a look here at what the score was. Real Madrid 71% possession in the first 16 minutes of that one. Leipzig ran out 2-0 winners at home to Werder Bremen. Sabitzer getting on the score sheet from the penalty spot in that one. But yeah, I think that is one to potentially keep an eye on in January. Thomas James Smith saying, told you 3-0 to Real Madrid. Philip, welcome along to the stream. Merrick saying, I want Sabitzer. He can play multiple positions and can fill in the Sissoko role as well. He's a really versatile player, a really, really good midfielder. He can play attack and he can play defensive. I think that one of the main things Szoboszlai had over him was he could also fill in on the left-hand side. So I think I would have preferred to get Szoboszlai, but look, Sabitzer isn't a bad second option. Thomas saying, if Poch had Mourinho's mentality, he would have won 3 titles with us. And look, that's the difference between Pochettino and it's a tough fall there for Edouard Mendy, because he came out to claim that cross over Reece James. But yeah, look, I think Pochettino, he didn't have what it takes to get that team over the final hurdle, which is, look, it's very disappointing. And it's not a criticism of him. It's just, I suppose, a lack of experience on his part. It's just replaying here the Real Madrid goal, and Hermoso just slips. It's a bit unfortunate for him, but I think it is poor defending from Real Madrid. Rob Hogan saying, serious question this time, but do you think Mourinho's usual divide and conquer of a squad to get the best from his team will alienate certain players, causing rifts akin to Winks and Ali? Look, I think there's two ways of looking at this. There's one, it does kind of cause rifts in the squad. It does alienate certain players. It does force players out of the club. But on the other hand, I'll just remove this here. Do you see me? I think on the other hand, we don't have room for passengers anymore. And in the past, there were players like Christian Eriksen, Harry Winks for a while, Dele Alli towards the end of Pochettino's era. There was Danny Rose, and even Sergio Aurier before he improved this season. They were passengers in our team. And there's a difference between, I suppose, what Mourinho did with Pogba at United, although perhaps it does look like he may have been right. Pogba is an outstanding footballer, and Mourinho was kind of forced him out there. It seemed like more of an ego thing than a footballing thing. But at Spurs, the players that he is potentially kicking out of the squad are players that don't deserve to be in there. Because under Pochettino, we didn't have much squad depth, and if Dele Alli wasn't playing well, if Harry Winks wasn't playing well, they still kind of had to go out there because we didn't have any better options. So I think he has built a fantastic squad, and he's just getting rid of the passengers rather than losing players that do actually offer something to the squad. Jay Spurs saying, Matt, about Szoboszlai, I honestly think he's not ready for a top club. I've watched quite a few games of Salzburg. He's still very raw, good dead balls, but can go through games a lot. I'll take your word for it, to be honest. I think he's has a lot of potential. There's no doubt about that. He can be an outstanding footballer, and he has a chance now to develop and perhaps become that player at Leipzig. But I think we could really do with a dead ball player, a dead ball specialist at Spurs. Martin Deedy, welcome along to the stream, saying, what's a questionable one? That's a questionable one. Will Harry Kane ever be as good as Firmino in the deep lying 9 role? I expect better from you, Martin, I'll be honest. Jay Spurs saying, so he made the right move to go to Leipzig. I agree. I think he did, and saying he's got high potential though. And only saying, if we could sell Sanchez, Winks and Dele, how much would we realistically get, and who would you buy? It's a tough question. It's a tough question in this current market. Because look, we bought Sanchez for 40 odd million. We're not going to get that back. Harry Winks, I think, could offer a lot to, like a team like Newcastle, a team like Everton. But will the money be there for them to go out and actually pay what Spurs want for him because of the current climate? And Dele, I think he could attract more money than maybe would be expected. As Calvert-Lewin, it's a penalty for Everton. It's a penalty for Everton. It's a mistake by Edouard Mendy. The ball is lumped up the pitch, and Calvert-Lewin rises above the centre-back, manages to get the touch in his head. It falls in behind the centre-back, and Mendy comes rushing out to try and claim it. Calvert-Lewin gets the touch there before him, and Mendy clatters him. It's a stonewall penalty. And Mendy, perhaps still feeling the effects of that knock a couple of minutes ago, he's horribly mistimed that when the ball is well gone. He effectively punches Calvert-Lewin in the head. That's poor goalkeeping from Mendy. He's really miscalculated that one. But yeah, if you were to sell the three of those, I would be hoping for maybe 70, 80 million off the three of them, and then maybe fund a move for Skriniar and put something towards maybe getting an attacking midfielder. Gylfi Sigurdsson standing over this penalty, a former Spurs fan, could definitely do us a big favour here. They're saying, I think the commentator said it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin who had the penalty, and Sigurdsson came over and took the ball off him. He's the captain tonight, so it's definitely his say. But Sigurdsson against Edouard Mendy from 12 yards, and he coolly slots it into the bottom right corner. And Everton take the lead here after 22 minutes. The former Spurs man putting it away from the penalty spot. And this is certainly very good news for Spurs indeed, but a long game ahead. And look, there's always going to be goals in this one, and it is Everton who have struck first. Thomas saying, I think Dele misses Eriksen's pinpoint passing, like Son would miss Kane. His game went when Eriksen gave up, which is a good point. Eriksen was a key part of everything we did for a long time there, and Dele Alli in that kind of number 10 role, making the runs in behind the striker. Eriksen's passing ability was a big part of that, so that is actually a very good point. Merrick saying Donnarumma's contract is up in the summer. I would love him at Spurs when his contract ends. Look, he could be a fantastic option, but again, I'm not sure that is particularly realistic. Adam Zeus saying, what about Kezia rumours? I'm not too sure. There's too much truth to those. I don't think he's the type of player we'd be looking for right now either. Merrick saying, I really hope Chelsea lose. I think the majority in this stream will agree with you. Dean Corbett, welcome along to the stream. I'm with Szoboszlai joining Leipzig. Does that pave the way for Sabitzer to join you, in your opinion? Thanks for joining, first of all, Dean. I do appreciate it. It's about time you subscribed and started watching. But yeah, look, I think a lot of people were, of course, I'm also disappointed that we had missed out on Szoboszlai. There were a few reliable sources saying that we were actually interested in him. But the silver lining is Leipzig will probably let a player go now, because that tends to be what they do. They bring in a player from one of their sister clubs and sell on their bigger players to bigger teams. So Sabitzer could be that man to leave, but there is a lot of players in there like Emil Forsberg as well, and Kunku, Haidara. There are a lot of players there who could leave, but hopefully it does allow Sabitzer to move on. But the question then comes, who will he actually join? Because I'm sure there's a lot more teams in the market for him than Spurs. It's Reece James break forward here for Chelsea's cynical foul there by Richarlison. And a free kick, for Chelsea about 25, 30 yards out. The English shit saying, Matt, what's the noise around the Leon Bailey transfer? Because this guy is a proper baller. There were some links over the summer, but I don't think there was anything particularly concrete, and I don't think we'll be seeing anything like that in the coming window. There won't be a lot of investment by Spurs in the January window, and if there is, it'll be in defence or it'll be in the middle of the park. We don't need any more wingers, and I can't see us bringing any in. And Donny saying, thanks for the reply, mate. Keep it up, your channel, and we'll keep growing. Thanks a million. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for joining. Mary saying, yes, thank you, Everton. Of course, Gylfi Sigurdsson just giving them the lead there from the penalty spot. Michael saying, hey, Matt, great channel. Keep the content coming. Thank you, Michael. I do appreciate that. If there is anyone new on the channel tonight, if you are an Everton fan, if you are a Chelsea fan, make sure to pop it down in the comments and we'll get you involved. But if there is anyone new to the channel, here's a quick message. And Thibaut Courtois there nearly cut out by a corner. Atletico Madrid whipping it in from the left-hand side. It's an in-swinger. I think he's coming out to claim it, and he just misjudges it a bit, and it nearly goes back in over his head. But he did well to get his hand and claw it away. And a free kick here for Chelsea in a very dangerous area. Reece James, Mason Mount, and Chilwell standing over it. James goes for goal, and Pickford has to turn in the post. It's a good effort, but I think it's a bit too far out to be going to the goalkeeper's side. And in the end, it's a comfortable save for Pickford. But a shot on target nonetheless from Reece James. A lot of whip, a lot of bend in that one. And Pickford had made the move across. Maybe he did well to get back to that side. Jay Spurs saying, I think we lack goals from midfield. Matt, who do you think we should get in the future? Look, I think we still have Lo Celso to properly get into the squad this season, because he hasn't been in that midfield for a while. His injuries have let him down. But we do just have such strong selection in midfield. As Reece James tests, the corner is come in from the right hand side. It's been glanced through, and Reece James in the left corner of the box. He gets a really, really good connection on it, and it hits the left post and rolls across the goal line, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But is there a call for a handball potentially there? But it's a really good strike from Reece James. So unfortunate not to find the back of the net with that one. Yeah, I think Lo Celso could potentially be. It's actually a save by Pickford. He's done well there. It's another corner. Is there a VAR check here? John Moss having a word here with Allen and Holgate. No, it just seems to be another corner. But yeah, I don't think we particularly need a goal-scoring midfielder. Sabitzer, of course, could be that option, but Lo Celso is still potential to be that man for us. The Everton fans not happy here as Kante lifts the ball into the box, headed away there by Abdoulaye Doucouré. Adam Zeus saying, has Dayat any chance if we are looking for a defender? I think he'll be after a club who can pay him more money, to be honest. Dayat Upamecano from Leipzig. Fantastic centre-back. I'm not sure if he plays for the French national team, to be honest. But yeah, no, there's definitely I'd say bigger teams in the mix for him. Dean Corbett saying, top 5 ballers you played with on a Monday. I won't go through it, Dean, but I'll just let you know straight away that you're not in that top 5 at all. Merrick saying, I think Szoboszlai would have gone to Arsenal rather than Spurs. So happy he's not joining them. I don't know, to be honest. Like, without being funny and without annoying Paul, who's in the live chat here as well, I think Tottenham do have much more of a pull factor than Spurs or than Arsenal. So I wouldn't have expected him to have joined Arsenal over us. We'll get to Paul's annoying question there in a second. Rob's saying, agree with getting rid of dead weight like Ali and Winks, but there's also a point where it has an effect on the other players like Am I Next and makes them uncomfortable. Yeah, look, that's true. And again, I don't mean to be disagreeing with you on everything, but there is 2 sides to every story, and that could be the players knowing they have to prove themselves. And I think that was a big thing for Serge Aurier. Matt Doherty came into the team and all of a sudden Serge Aurier is one of the first names on our team sheet because he's been so good. Kurt Zuma having a goal there, and it's a good save by Pickford. He's well told onto it. It's a free kick from a deep area. It's lobbed into the box. Olivier Giroud gets his head in it, and Kurt Zuma is first to the second ball on the swivel, catches it with his left foot in a half volley from about 8 yards out. But it is straight at Jordan Pickford. He's well told onto it with Kai Havertz lurking. But yeah, look, there's always going to be that element of players wondering, are they next? But I think the way it's worked so far, I think we can't complain really about the way Jose has dealt with the squad, because there are players like Serge Aurier, like Sissoko, like Eric Dyer, who are just better than perhaps we've ever seen them in a Spurs jersey. So there are going to be players who will miss out, but there's also ones who are going to improve. Mr. K, welcome along to the stream. And here we go. How much money would you roughly say made from royalties due to your role in the Harry Potter movies? I really need to report Kieran Jones to HR. Mr. K saying, Dele to stay, Winks out on loan. I think it'll be the other way around, to be honest. I think Winks will stay beyond January, and we could potentially see Dele Alli moving out on loan. BBC Sport reporting in the last couple of days that PSG are expected to come back in to make another loan bid for Dele Alli. They made 2, potentially 3 in the summer, and they were all turned down, of course. But I think if one of them is going to leave this January, I think we could see Ali go to Paris on loan. But Winks, I think, will stay, because I think the latest reports are Jose Mourinho isn't particularly happy with his holding midfield options behind the starting 3. So if one's going to leave, I do think it will be Dele Alli. Merrick saying, I think Lo Celso will be at Spurs for a really long time compared to Ndombele, because Ndombele might be snatched up by other clubs. Look, that is, it's possible. It's, of course, the potential for that to happen. But I think Ndombele has really turned around not only his own career in terms of like his own form at Spurs, but also he seems to be kind of buying into everything at the club, like the majority of the players are. So there aren't many players in the team now who I can see potentially to bigger clubs. But for now, I think we're safe with the 2 of them there. Jay Spurs asking, what are your thoughts on Bale? There's more to come from him. That may be me just being hopeful, or it may actually be true, but I do think there is more to come from him. He's struggling for fitness. He's not going to get too much. He's not going to get back to full fitness really quick when he is only playing Europa League and maybe 10, 15 minutes in the Premier League. But he hasn't been the player we were expecting. We knew it was going to be a slow start, but we're here now, 2 months after his second debut, and he's still not really performing. He's looking better. He's looking more positive when he gets on the ball. He's looking to be a bit sharper, but still nowhere near the level that we would want. Merrick saying, is Lampard's plan to try long shots? I think so far they're looking to kind of take advantage of what they're perhaps thinking is a weak Everton defence aerially, which I suppose would be backed up by the fact that Olivier Giroud has started ahead of Tammy Abraham, and they are causing problems for them. A couple of corners now where Everton have looked vulnerable. Kurt Zuma having a good effort, saved by Pickford, and Reece James hitting the post as well. But Chelsea certainly taken control of the game since Everton did take the lead about 10 minutes ago. Gylfi Sigurdsson with that goal from the penalty spot. And I almost forgotten about this game here, but Real Madrid still 1-0 up against Atletico Madrid with Casemiro scoring for them with a header off a corner. Michael saying, Matt, do you see any chance we push the boat out for Dybala and getting money, moving on players, possibly Sanchez, Winks, Dele? I'd be surprised, to be honest, Michael. I can't see Paulo Dybala coming to Spurs. He turned us down last year. And I know we're a very different team now, as Olivier Giroud looking for Thiago Silva. A chance here in the break for Everton. Michael Keane always put too much on that, and it's good positioning by Mendy to get to that one before Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think Dybala will be leaving Juventus soon, but again, I think PSG could be the team that he ends up at. Merrick saying, I would see us sell Winks to a club like Newcastle or Southampton. I agree with you, Merrick. I think it is a mid-table team where he will end up, but not this year, because we need more time to recruit a potential replacement. I don't think Mourinho will be too keen to let Winks go in this January. Merrick saying, 40 people in the stream. Thank you to everyone who is joining. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. It really helps me out. Rob saying, no need to not disagree, you're correct. Jose's brought the best out of certain players. Kane and Son as a partnership have been outstanding so far. And yeah, look, that's the thing. Kane and Son, for so long, Pochettino was trying to fine-tune them, and he tried a lot of different things. He tried, obviously playing Son off the left and Kane up front. There's times he played the two of them up front together, but Jose Mourinho has managed to find the key to their success together. And I don't think we can name a better partnership in world football at the moment than Kane and Son. And I think that does come down to Jose Mourinho. And Ned Murphy, welcome along to the stream, Ned. How do you rank the big six managers now in the league? Seems like a lot of pretenders in there for me. Look, there's always going to be pretenders around the place. I think if you talk about the manager of the big six teams, I think Frank Lampard is. Look, it may be a bit harsh because they are in the title race right now, and of course he got to a cup final last year as well, doing well in the Champions League. But I feel like he's hiding behind the fantastic squad that he does have. I think if you didn't give him the backing that he had, if you didn't give him the squad that he had, I think he'd really struggle. And even with this now, I still don't think he's going to win much this season. I think they'll be in the title race, but I can't see them winning it. Solskjaer, of course, he's Solskjaer. Not too much to say about there. Like I would honestly put managers like Marcelo Bielsa ahead of them in terms of the best man in the league. I think Klopp, Guardiola, and Mourinho are out there in a field of their own. Carlo Ancelotti not too far behind. But look, I think we're lucky, I suppose, to have these managers in the Premier League. There are so many managers who are seen as some of the best in the world. The 5 there that are named, certainly, and some managers who could potentially in the future be at that level, like Lampard, Arteta, and Solskjaer, kind of getting started now in their managerial career. Thomas saying Bale's doing what Jose wants. He's lifted the dressing room, simple as, and that's true. I mean, it's the same as Joe Hart. They're not offering too much in the pitch. They're playing in the Europa League. Joe Hart, of course, being a bit of a liability for us against Lask, but they're winners in the changing room. They're players who will lift the team around them, who will instill that winning mentality in the changing room. So because we're not seeing the benefit on the pitch, doesn't mean it's not working. The English Jid saying, Matt, do you think Mourinho has a long-term project ahead, or the plan is to get us trophies and move on elsewhere? Look, you never know with Jose Mourinho. I think he has made it clear that he does want to finish his career in Portugal. I think he does want to go back to Porto. So he's not going to finish his career at Spurs, but I think he's going to be a bit longer term than people are expecting, to be honest. I'm not expecting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years or whatever, but I think he could have 3 or 4 really good years at Spurs, which of course we take right now without a shadow of a doubt. Dean saying, what is your opinion of the current situation at Man United, and what is the best way for them to go back to United of old? Even though we like them struggling, it's not the same seeing them not go for a cup. Look, United are in a very precarious situation at the moment, and I think it's unfair on Solskjaer. Well, he's not helping himself with some of the team selections he makes. That against Leipzig during the week, to play a 5 at the back, go 2-0 down after 12 minutes, then try and say he wasn't playing defensive football. It's not helping his situation at all. But United aren't going to go anywhere with the board that they have. And I've said this quite a bit. You could put Mauricio Pochettino in that team, and for 1 year, for 2 years, maybe he'll do well. But what seems to be the mistake the Man United board make is they invest in the first transfer window, they invest in the second, maybe even they invest in the third transfer window. But then when they start to see the rewards on the pitch, they start to see them climbing up the table, they think that's their job done, and they sit back, they let the profits roll in and expect the trophies to follow. But that's just not how it works. You need constant investment in a team. And look, it's happened this time as well. They got Bruno Fernandes. He climbed up the table. They finished, they finished 3rd last season, and it was a 4th, whatever it was, and they were expecting that to be the norm for them now. They didn't invest enough in the summer. They didn't get the targets that Solskjaer wanted. They needed a centre-back, needed a better centre-back. They probably needed another midfielder. They needed maybe even a full-back as well, and they didn't do it, and it's making them pay. So while Solskjaer isn't a good manager right now, he, of course, has the potential to improve. No matter what manager you put in that United team, it's going to be the same. Because you have to look at Jose Mourinho and how he fared at Manchester United. It's the first team where he wasn't successful, and he finished second on 81 points, and he said it's the best achievement of his career. People laughed at him, but we're looking back now and thinking, how the hell did he manage to do that? And United are going to be in this situation because it happened with Louis van Gaal as well. It's no coincidence that those two managers, who are seen as two of the best in world football, absolutely failed. David Moyes is an exception. I think that was just a ridiculous appointment in itself. And Solskjaer, I would put in the same boat. When you're in the situation United are in, they needed someone to turn that around straight away. And Solskjaer just isn't that man. So their situation is ridiculous. They're such a big club, such a successful club, but it's not going to change until that board sells the club, or until the board is changed or whatever. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Wolves AWE TV, welcome to the Spurs to win the league. Fingers crossed on that one. I'm sure there's a lot of people in this stream who would agree with you. Dave McGarry saying, I've not seen Bale smile like he has been for a long time. Genuinely happy to be part of what Jose is building. More to come. Wasn't a fan of Jose before, but he's won me over. Yeah, look, Jonathan Barnett, Gareth Bale's agent, has said that as well. He's happier than he's ever been, which is great to see, and that will help him get his form back on the pitch as well. It'll help him get his fitness back, and we don't know how long that will take, but it's certainly going to help. James saying, I think a benefit of Lampard is he'll have a longer view and try to build a team that will be successful for years. And I do agree with that. You can see from the players he's bringing in younger players with potential. I know Hakim Ziyech probably an exception at 25, 26, getting into the prime of his career, but Kai Havertz, Timo Werner as well, and he's starting to kind of get players like Faustino Angerin and Billy Gilmore back into the first team setup, and it's going to be really good for Chelsea in the long term, because in the past it's been loan them out. We all know the jokes about how many players Chelsea loan out, and it's not a joke, like, it is true. But Lampard does seem like the type of man who'd rather have them in the first team than going out on loan, and that's only going to help him in the long term. J Spurs, is it weird me thinking this could be your year? I think it could be your year as well, and I know there are other Spurs fans who do think the same. It's a weird feeling to be confident as a Spurs fan, but I do think that is a position we're in at the moment. Michael saying, gotta go, really enjoy your live streams, Matt. Thanks a million for joining, Michael. I do appreciate it. Have a good evening. James saying, Jose is head and shoulders above most other managers in ability, in my opinion. I think tactically he is, and we've seen that by how he outclassed Pep Guardiola not too long ago. I really do think he is tactically brilliant, and one of the best ever in the way he can organize a team and adapt the team to whatever is needed. So I would agree he is head and shoulders above most other managers. Of course, Klopp and Guardiola can't be ignored. Of course, they have a little monopoly in the Premier League amongst themselves in the last couple of years. Thomas saying, too bad United. No one will ever do what was done ever again. There's too much money for smaller teams now. Merrick saying, we have to tie Son down to a long-term contract. The fact that clubs haven't got in for him is insane. And I saw comments from Rio Ferdinand there saying Son is gettable, as in United can afford him and he will be open to leaving Spurs, which is the most ridiculous comments I've ever heard. But Son is expected to be signing a new contract very soon, 5, potentially 6 years, which would see him right through to his early 30s, which could be a really big one for Spurs. Merrick saying Trippier is being linked with Man United. I haven't seen those links, to be honest, but I'd be surprised if they are true. I think that they're going to give Aaron Wan-Bissaka a bit more time to prove himself after spending £50 million on him. Chelsea here on the edge of the box, good defending there by Gylfi Sigurdsson. About 5 minutes before the break here in both these games, still Everton, Chelsea 0 and Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 0. The English Shid saying, Matt, was Mourinho chance here? Richarlison breaking forward down the left. Richarlison hits it. Edward Mendy makes a save and it's cleared by Thiago Silva. But Chelsea opened up way too easily there by one pass, and Richarlison, if that was on his right foot, probably would have ended up in the back of the net. But it's a good save by Edward Mendy. And Everton looking for a good end to this half as Alan bursts forward through the middle. And he's just tried too much there. He's lost possession. Mourinho wasn't my choice at all. He wasn't my choice. When Pochettino was sacked, I think it was even in the days leading up to him being sacked, there was a lot of rumours that Jose Mourinho was going to come in, and I was furious. I'm going to put my hands up and say I was judging him off that time at United. I was expecting things to go horribly wrong if he did come in. But look, I've been proved wrong. I'm not going to complain about it. But I did always say from the start, whether I agree with the appointment or not, it has to be a foul by Mason Mount. It's a strange decision from the referee. The ball is lobbed forward, and it's going into the Everton box, and Jordan Pickford is coming out to catch it. And I think, is it Michael Keane kind of standing near him, shielding him, and Mason Mount pushes Keane into Pickford, or is it Yerry Mina? And so Mount pushes Mina, and he clashes with Pickford in midair. That's very dangerous from Mason Mount. Surely should have been given as a foul there. I said from day one, I back Mourinho. He's not my choice for the appointment. He's Spurs manager, so I will back him. Merrick saying, I hate West Ham, but Moyes is doing a fantastic job there. Yeah, West Ham, they looked good against Leeds last night. Leeds were really poor, but West Ham looked good. Rob Hogan saying, don't fall into the this is our year trap. We were in that trap for years. Yeah, you were, but you didn't have Jose Mourinho, so I have to wait and see how that goes. Martin Hawkins saying, slightly off topic here, do you have updates on our loanees, i.e. Foyth, Sessegnon, Parrott? I don't know too much, to be honest. I know Sessegnon was the player of the month for Hoffenheim there last month. Hoffenheim not having a very good season. They're sitting, I think, 15th, or was it? They're sitting lower mid-table anyway in the Bundesliga. Troy Parrott not having the best time at Millwall. I know nothing about Foyth and Villarreal, but I can say Villarreal are, I think they're doing well in La Liga in terms of where they are in the table. Let's give it a quick check here. Villarreal, as it stands, are fourth in the table, but before kick-off tonight in the Real Madrid game, they were third, just 5 points off the top of the table. So I don't know if Foyth is playing there, but Villarreal are doing well. And of course, Oliver Skipp out at Norwich is doing exceptionally now at the moment. Dave McGarry saying, I saw Ericsson being linked with West Ham this morning. Surely not. I've seen a few of those in the last couple of days. For some reason, it just seems like the right move for Ericsson and for West Ham, because he's a washed up Premier League footballer who was great in his day, but it's just passed. I don't think it will happen, but there's just something that seems right about that transfer. Sam Bradley saying Jose is rubbish. A comment is rubbish. Jay Spurs saying, I want us to win at Anfield so bad. Liverpool fans have had it so good. We need to win. Look, it's going to be a massive game. It's going to be a massive, massive game on Wednesday. And I have confidence. I do think Tottenham can come out of that with 3 points, but it's going to take a lot of work. Liverpool are going to be really hard to keep at bay. They're unbeaten at Anfield since March 2017 in the league. It's around 65 games. It's going to be near impossible to get the job done. As Mason Mount here in the box pulls it out to Olivier Giroud, crosses it looking for Mount or Havertz at the back post. He takes it down. He's forced wide. They're good defending by Ben Godfrey. Yeah, it's going to be a really tough one, but I can see Tottenham getting something out of that game, I'll be honest. Merrick saying Pep and Arteta fell into Mourinho's trap. Hopefully Klopp is next. And look, Liverpool are going to come out and play football. I mean, there's no other way this game is going to go. They're not going to sit back and defend. Klopp is too... he's too, not egotistical, but his principles are too strong for that, I'd say. I do think he'll come out and play football. He'll try and beat Spurs at his own game, but it could cost him, like it did cost Arteta, but they are, of course, two very different teams. I don't think it's fair to compare them at all, but I think they will play similar styles. Merrick saying Mourinho is definitely the right appointment, and in hindsight, I agree with you. At the time, I didn't want him, but Levy definitely knew better than us on that one and got the right manager for the job. Rob Hogan saying Jordan Pickford has T-Rex style arms. It baffles me that man is a Premier League goalkeeper, and when there are the likes of Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, also playing in the league, how he actually starts for England. It's really strange, but look, the managers must have seen something that we don't. As Reece James wicks it into the back post, but it just runs past Ben Chilwell. Merrick saying Alistair Gold said that Foyt's loan is not going to plan, plus Parrott started today and Millwall lost 2-0. The thing with Foyt's loan is it's not going to plan, but I do think regardless of what happens, Villarreal will activate the option to buy him at the end of the season. So I'd be very surprised if we see Juan Foyt in a Spurs jersey again. And Parrott, yeah, I saw a tweet a while ago from a Millwall fan saying he feels bad for Parrott because he was built up as a massive signing for them, but he just hasn't been able to live up to that, which is of course concerning for his time there. We're just coming up to half time in these two games with 30 seconds of normal time left in these two halves. Everton lead by 1-0 against Chelsea. Gylfi Sigurdsson scoring from the spot after Edouard Mendy took Dominic Calvert-Lewin down. Aside from that, Chelsea have had the better things. Richarlison has had 2 half chances, but Kurt Zouma had a good chance from a corner, which he hit straight at Jordan Pickford. Reece James as well, off a corner, hit a really good strike from the edge of the box, tipped onto the post by Jordan Pickford. And Chelsea really controlling the area here as the ball is whipped into Werner. It just runs through to Jordan Pickford. 3 minutes added on in this one. In the Madrid derby, it is Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 0. Casemiro with the goal in that one, scoring from a header after I think it was about 14 minutes. Karim Benzema has come closest aside from that with a really, really good effort on his left foot from the edge of the box, which Jan Oblak did really well to get a fingertip on and push it onto the post. Not as exciting as I was hoping from these first two halves, but still, at least we've seen some goals and potentially a fight here starting in the Madrid derbies. The halftime whistle is blown. I didn't really see what happened, but Casemiro isn't happy. He's having a word or two there. Looks to be simmering down pretty quickly. Merrick saying, how is Pickford England's number 1? It's insane. Martin saying, what is Foyt's buyout price? I'm not too sure. I don't know if there is a set price in that, but if there is, I don't know what it is, but I can't imagine it would be too much more than 10 or 15 million, to be honest. Rob saying, what do you think of Levy's hands-on approach that he seems like all buddy-buddy with Jose in the All or Nothing documentary? Look, I think Mourinho or Daniel Levy is still just starstruck by Jose Mourinho. There's a lot of clips in that documentary. The ball's whipped into the box and it's questionable defending again by Everton, but Holgate just about manages to get that back to Pickford. I think Levy's a bit starstruck, but he also, he wants to keep Jose Mourinho in his good books. There's some interesting ones in the documentary. There's one in particular where they were talking about, I think it was the game against Manchester City when we beat them 2-0 before the restart. And Levy was kind of talking to Jose Mourinho, and Levy was making the most basic footballing comments, like saying, Harry Winks was running so much, and Jose Mourinho just looked like he was entertaining him. It was I thought it was funny to watch. But yeah, no, I think he's just trying to keep him on board, and look, if he wants to be in Jose Mourinho's good book, he's going to have to do well in the transfer market, and he has done so far, so I'll take that for definite. The English did say, Matt, great to hear you're honest about not wanting Mourinho, and I'm glad he's winning over people as Iwobi whips it into the box, and it's gone off Sigurdsson out for a goal kick. I'm glad he's winning over people. And do you think we are missing a Modric type of player to unlock defences, or can Tongi be that player? I think Ndombele can definitely be that player. I really do. We were playing against Burnley last month, and we were struggling to break them down. But it was Ndombele who was managing later on in the game to pick up the space between the lines and really be that creative influence that we needed in the middle of the park. So I do think he that player. I wouldn't say we need to go out and buy a Modric type of player, although it wouldn't be, of course, it wouldn't be a bad thing if we did. Merrick saying Mason Mount is one hell of a talent. Nurul saying can't wait. Tottenham versus Liverpool, both my favourite. Merrick as well saying 60 people in the stream. We're up at 70 people now, so please smash that like button, subscribe if you are new. It really helps me out, and it helps me gauge if people do want more of these non-Spurs Premier League watch-alongs. So I would really appreciate all the support we can get on that one. Leandro saying Tottenham are beast. Merrick saying Foyt's buyout is 15 million. Thomas James saying it's 13.5 million for Foyt. Pappy saying Parrott has had a couple of injuries, is young, new to Millwall. Yeah, and he was back at Spurs earlier in the season for rehab after an injury, so he hasn't even hit the ground yet this season. Halftime here in both the games, it is 1-0 still in both of them to each home side. Sigurdsson and Casemiro getting the goals. Nurul saying, do you think Son will be the next star after Salah? I do think so, to be honest. I think Son is really on a dangerous path right now for opposition teams. Like, he's on a really good path. He's finding his best way to play, and he's in a team now that really complements the way that he can play, and getting into the prime of his career as well. I think he's 26, 27. He's getting to his best years now. I think he can really be up there and be on that same level as Mohamed Salah. Merrick saying in Mourinho we trust. William Eriksen was our last Modric type of player, which, look, I agree, and things quickly went sour with Christian Eriksen, unfortunately, but we do have creative players in there. Like, I think Lo Celso can be that Modric type of player, because he is really creative. He has the passing ability. He has that kind of bite that is needed. And of course, Ndombele as well can also be that. Nick Jackson saying, I didn't like him until I watched that documentary. Yeah, no, I think that documentary certainly won over a lot of people for both Mourinho and Daniel Levy. Merrick saying, really loving this watch along. Hopefully more to come. Thank you very much, Merrick. I do appreciate that. If you're enjoying this, will you let me know in the comments, because I was a bit unsure about doing non-Spurs Premier League watch alongs. Now, I know this has almost turned into a Spurs stream, but yeah, do let me know if you are enjoying this stream. We have 33 likes here. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes on this one. Please smash that like button if you are enjoying it. Sorry, just 1 second there. James saying, do you think Everton will hold on to this lead? I don't know. Chelsea have been controlling the game since the goal. As I said, they've had quite a few chances. Reece James with a free kick, another effort from a corner that was tipped onto the post by Pickford. Kurt Zouma with a chance in the box as well. And look, set pieces is where Chelsea score goals, and it's where Everton look really vulnerable tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised to see someone like Kurt Zouma getting on the score sheet in this one. I think Everton will struggle, but they definitely have the ability. Rob saying Salah is less than a month older than Son, both 28. Look, that's fair, but I think Son really, he does have, I know it's weird to say for a man of that age, but he has potential to get even better. And we've seen that this season, in the fact that he has improved so much in this season as well. 92 Flamethrower says, do you think Mourinho sees Sessegnon as a winger or a left back? He sees him right in the middle there as a wing back, and it's why Hoffenheim were handpicked for Sessegnon to go out on loan, because the system they play, Sessegnon will be a wing back. And Mourinho last season was reluctant to put Sessegnon in those positions because he doesn't feel as though he had the ability or the physicality to actually play in that role. So I think he does see him as a wing back, and getting this loan out to Hoffenheim is really giving him all the experience he needs to become the player that Mourinho hopes he can. Fusion saying best player in the Prem at the moment. I may be biased, but I'm going to say Harry Kane, because he's been absolutely unplayable this season. Martin saying, I think Bale can be the point guard who breaks down stubborn defences, and there are fewer better with long range shots. And look, we saw for the first time Gareth Bale nearly scoring a free kick on Thursday. In the past he's been hitting them into the wall or blazing them into Rosette, but he almost scored one for 40 yards against Antwerp. Of course, Vinicius turned it in on the rebound. So yeah, I think there is more to come from him. Tom saying, I can't believe we're even having the discussion. Is Son world class? Mark Shepherd saying, enjoy all your content. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Thomas saying, love this watch along. Merrick saying, really hope Chelsea lose. Jaden, welcome to the stream, saying, who do you think is better, Aurier or Doherty? I think Aurier this season has been better, but Doherty, I think he does have the potential to be better, because we saw him against we saw him when he was playing with Wolves. He was really good. I know he's playing in a slightly different system, but he was playing really well, and he has the potential to be like a lot better than Serge Aurier. But at the moment, it is Aurier who is performing, which, look, I suppose is a good thing for us because we do have a right back who's playing really well. But we'll have to wait and see how Doherty progresses, and if he does even if he is ever going to become our first choice right back. Nurul saying subscribed, all the best to you. Thank you very much, Nurul. I do appreciate that. Tyler saying go get a life, Matt. I think if you're commenting on someone's live stream saying go get a life, I think you need to take your own advice. Merrick saying Atletico always slip up against Real Madrid, which is a good point. The English Shid saying, Matt, it's a great idea about what you're doing. It's good to mix it up with other fans, keep them coming. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And that's what I'm hoping, we get more people in here, more fans from different clubs, and get more discussions going. Rob saying, what do you think will be the starting team against Liverpool? And also you can share my Liverpool formation theory. Starting team for Spurs, I think it's just going to be as expected. Lloris, Aurier, Alderweireld, Dyer, Reguilon, Sissoko, Højbjerg, and Dembele, Kane, Son, and I'm going to go with either Lucas or Bergwijn. I can't really decide which one it would be. I think if Lamela was fit, it would be him, but one of Bergwijn and Lucas on the side. And that's that Liverpool formation theory. I was talking to Rob a while ago, and he was saying it to me how basically in summary, formations aren't always what they appear to be. Liverpool on paper line up in a 4-3-3, but if you're watching them in possession, it's a 4-1-2-1-2. If Fabinho is in the midfield, he's dropping deep. You've Wijnaldum on the left, Henderson on the right, and then Firmino kind of dropping back and allowing Salah and Mane to come in from wide. And I think it's very relevant to Tottenham as well, because on paper Tottenham line up in a 4-3-3, but out of possession we're a 4-4-2. In possession we're a 4-5-1. On the transition we're it can be a 4-1-5 almost with the amount of players we flood forward. I'll definitely be talking about that more in a later video. I think it'd be really good to discuss. Ned here, who's in the live stream a while ago, has a theory that all formations are the same, which I think is taking this to a bit of a more extreme level, but definitely something that would be worth discussing. Paul saying, is a prime Harry Kane better than a prime Wayne Rooney? Well, you can't put me in that position. You can't put me in that position on a Spurs stream and all. But I'm not that deluded. I think a prime, everyone will agree, a prime Wayne Rooney is better than a prime Harry Kane. But I don't like you putting me in that position here, Paul. Trying to talk to Spurs fans. You can't make me say things like that. Narul saying, love Lampard, the legend. He deserves a better team. Any team that suits him. I don't love Lampard, and I wouldn't call him a legend. But look, I think the Chelsea team does suit him. It's one that he's building himself. I think he's doing a good job with the squad. He's brilliant there. Merrick saying, come on, you Spurs. Michael saying, love your blogs and the stream, Matt. Brilliant stuff. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Michael. I do appreciate that. Shiram, welcome to the stream, saying, who do you think will win the Europa League and why is it Man United? There's no chance whatsoever of United even getting to the final of the Europa League. Not with that defence that you have there. I think Tottenham have a good chance to winning it this year. But of course, AC Milan in there as well, I think are a really dangerous opponent for us. Martin saying, Jose, greatest success at Spurs is the way he has transformed Aurier. I cannot believe the difference. And I put Musa Sissoko in that same bracket as well. They're players who have been completely transformed by Jose Mourinho this season. Inat Nurse saying, any news on Skriniar? No, it just remains the same. If we pay the price, we get him. But it's unlikely that Tottenham will pay that much money. Abad saying, what is the score? It is 1-0 to Everton against Chelsea, with Gylfi Sigurdsson putting them ahead from the spot. And in the Madrid derby, it's 1-0 to Real, with Casemiro scoring off a corner. Shram saying, player roles are more important than formations, which definitely is the case. Harry Kane is effectively a striker, but he plays as a centre midfielder. So if you're making a formation for Spurs, you put Harry Kane up front, but he doesn't play there. Duck saying, Fat Frank, the fraud, more like. Flamethrower saying, did you hear about Szoboszlai going to Leipzig? And I did. It does look as though he will be joining Leipzig with an announcement expected before Christmas for that transfer to be completed in January. Sam Shizo saying, Prime Rooney is better than Prime Kane. I love Kane, but as a football fan, Prime Rooney was on another level. And I can't disagree with you. He's the second highest scorer in Premier League history, one of only two men to surpass 200 goals. And later in his career, he was playing as a midfielder. He is one of the best that have ever played in the Premier League. Delboy saying, do you think Arsenal have enough to stay up? Look, we'll have to wait and see. Trust the process, they say, but that process so far seems to mean scoring as many goals as one of Tottenham's players. So we'll have to wait and see how that. And I'm not sorry, Paul, if you're still here. Duck saying Gylfi is a yid. Leland saying, do you think that it's inevitable that Ali is going in January or in the summer? I think, as Inat Nurse is asking here about a loan, I think we will see Ali go out on loan in January, potentially to Paris Saint-Germain, and then a decision will be made in the summer. I do think Tottenham will be reluctant to let him go permanently, but if he goes out on loan and nothing really improves, I think they will struggle to find a reason to keep him. Um, Thomas saying Lampard is a City legend too as a player, not a boss. He's been given a load of cash. He's been in charge 11 games. He was in charge last season as well, but yeah, he's. I think it's not fair to judge him on what he's done. I agree in this first 11 games of the season, but also he's been given a lot more money than other managers have, and I think I think if he was given a squad that didn't have the backing that he has had, like some Chelsea managers have had in recent years, the lack of backing, I don't think he'd still be at Chelsea. Yep, he's saying I'm a Chelsea fan at first, but like watching them since they're a really good team. Who's their top players in the squad currently? There's some fantastic players in that squad. Of course, N'Golo Kante, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, Olivier Giroud, I think still is a very underrated player. Mr. K saying, when will Spurs get decent media representation with unbiased pundits? I don't think we ever will, to be honest. People seem to love slagging Spurs. I know Marcelo, who's on the channel, sometimes has a lot to say about that. Jaden Bain saying, are you watching the Joshua versus Pulev? If so, what are your predictions? I'm not. I know nothing, absolutely nothing about boxing, so I can't even give a prediction on that one. Tim saying, everyone hates us, but we don't care. Thomas saying, splitting hairs between Rooney and Kane, to be honest. If PSG take Delhi, could we get a player on loan back? I'm not too sure, but there's a lot of quality players in that PSG team. It could be something that's perhaps worth looking into. Inat Nurse saying, I think Spurs fans need to give Ali another chance, but for now he needs a loan. And I completely agree with you. Now we're just getting ready for these second halves to kick off in a couple of minutes. There are nearly 100 people watching live here, which I absolutely wasn't expecting tonight. So thank you very much to everyone who has joined. If you are new to the channel, please let me know in the live chat below. Smash like on the stream. And if you don't know what the channel is about, this will tell you everything you need to know. Rob Hogan, thank you very much for the €2 super sticker. I do really appreciate it. I love that out of you. Michael saying, Matt can't help feeling that every game we play is like a must-win final. Under Poch, we dominated most games and you knew we would score lots of goals. But with Jose, I'm still not convinced. Look, it's just the way we play. And there are two very different ways of looking at it. And one is the kind of the viewpoint that the pundit seems to be taking and opposition fans, and that we're playing negative football. We're playing insanely defensive football, which, look, you can say to a point is true, but the way I look at it is it's exciting to watch because we can score at any given moment. Looking at that Arsenal game on Sunday, the 2 goals we scored came from Arsenal's perhaps their 2 most dangerous periods of the game. So it is defensive, but I was talking about this. I'll play a little clip of what I was saying about it. Jose Mourinho's 7 principles of winning. It's not defensive football for the sake of it. There's a reason behind everything he does. And just before the second halves kick off, here's a little insight into what Jose thinks. And I'd never seen this before. It's from Diego Torres, who wrote a biography about Jose Mourinho. And here we have Jose's 7 principles of winning. And we can see each and every one of these coming to fruition and being utilised in Tottenham's last couple of games. The first one is the game is won by the team who commits fewer errors. Number 2, football favours whoever provokes more errors in the opposition. Number 3, away from home, instead of trying to be superior to the opposition, it's better to encourage their mistakes. Now, the next 4 I absolutely love. 4, whoever has the ball is more likely to make a mistake. Whoever renounces possession reduces the possibility of making a mistake. 6, whoever has the ball has fear. And 7, whoever does not have it is thereby stronger. Look at these stats yesterday. Arsenal, 70% possession. Spurs, 30% possession. Jose Mourinho is not defending for the sake of it. And David, I was saying this on your podcast, on your live stream a while ago. He's not defending for the sake of it. Behind what we are doing, there are principles, there's a philosophy, and there's a reason behind every single thing he does out in that pitch. And it's proven successful in the past. Look at what he did with Real Madrid with the same tactics. And it's starting to work now at Spurs. And we're becoming one of the best counter-attacking teams in the Premier League, if not the world. It's absolutely sensational to see. The English Shade saying, Matt, I hope Ali can turn it around at Spurs. I love this player. Okay, I know he's fallen off over the last few seasons, but you don't become a bad player overnight, and I don't think we will loan him out. Look, I'm in the same boat as you. I really do hope Ali turns it around and becomes that important player for us again, as he has been in the past, because he has the ability, and as you say, you don't become a bad player overnight. Form is temporary, class is permanent, but there's only so much time you can give him to actually turn that form around. In that Irish saying, if you don't like how we play, we didn't win anything under Poch, but it was still very good football to watch. Martin saying, it's not we the fans who do not love Dele, he's just not convincing Jose. Sam Shizo saying, I'm a Chelsea fan but currently becoming more happy when Spurs win their games. Hope Jose wins the league, also using Spurs in FIFA 21. Look, I think I'd be very happy if we won the league as well. The English Yid saying, I think he will bring Ali back in the frame in January. Well, that's what I hope. There are reports in the last couple of days. I think one of them is coming from Alistair Gold, but I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. That Dele Alli, if the situation doesn't change in the next month or so, he will be seeking a meeting with Jose Mourinho to try and get clarification on his situation at the club, with the potential for a move away in January. But again, I do think if he does leave in January, it will be on loan. Narul saying, I'm a Liverpool fan, both Son and Kane fan, together with Messi and Suarez fan. Martin about Dele Alli saying perhaps he's not training as well as Jose demands. Delboy saying, would love a Dele swap with Kimpembe, but his value is definitely higher. Look, I didn't think of that when we were talking about players we could potentially get from PSG. President Kimpembe, a very talented centre-back, a French international, would be a fantastic addition to our team. But again, I'm not entirely sure that's a realistic one. There's a difference between players that we want to get and players that we can get. Unfortunately, I don't think Kimpembe would fall into that bracket. And Rob Hogan with a €10 super chat. Rob, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Superb stuff, Matt. Really enjoying the stream, even more so than the actual game. Keep it up. Hope loads up. I do really appreciate that. And if you do want to support the stream as well, you can send a super chat or a super sticker, or want to become a channel member and get exclusive access in return, starting at just €1 or £1.99 per month. Hit the join button under the video. I'll do everything you need to know there. We do have 4 channel members at the moment. I'll check those in a second, and I'll give them the shout out that they deserve. In Atlersh saying, do you think Tottenham will look for a left-footed centre-back in January? Look, that is something that has discussed, and I'm surprised hasn't been... Oh, was that Mason Mount trying to catch Pickford off his line there? I'm not entirely sure what's gone on there. But yeah, since Jan Vertonghen left, I think we do need a left-footed centre-back, and that's not Skriniar. Pickford with the punch there. Is it N'Golo Kante? Mason Mount tries to lift it over him, and it's a good effort landing on the roof of the net there. Pickford nearly caught off his line. But we need a left-footed centre-back. Skriniar isn't that. He's right-footed, but Kimpembe is left-footed, so perhaps he could be the one to come in and kind of fill that void that has been left by Jan Vertonghen, because we do have something kind of lacking in our team there. And just quickly, I want to thank our 4 channel members: Steve Rattistar at Championship level, Jeremy Smith at Championship level, Arthur Everett at Champions League level, and Paul Markey joined 2 days ago at Championship level as well. Thank you very much to the 4 of you. It is hugely appreciated. And again, if any of you want to become a channel member for exclusive access, make sure to hit that join button just below the video. Kwame saying, hey Matt, how are you doing today? Kwame, thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm doing well, enjoying the football. I hope you're well too. Spurs saying, Matt, how long before Lo Celso becomes a regular in the starting lineup? And look, I think Lo Celso's exclusion from the starting 11 at the moment is purely down to the quality of the players ahead of him, rather than his own abilities or whatever. Look, his injuries do come into it, and they are to some extent letting him down now at the moment. But I think it's when Ndombele gets injured or Ndombele's form drops off. Oh, chance here for Real Madrid. Benzema picking up a loose back pass, and he pulls it back to Toni Kroos, and he's taken down from behind, and it's a penalty. Is it? Oh, the referee's given this just outside the box. I think this is definitely going to go to VAR. I'm not sure who took him down there. It was Toni Kroos running into the box, trying to get on the end of a Benzema layoff, and it was that Angel Correa must have come on at the break, who took him down from behind. And we'll just see here, I'm not sure who that is, passing it back, intercepted by Benzema. And you know what? That's a really good decision from the referee. I think the contact is just outside the box. Just outside the box. Angel Correa is very lucky in that one. But yeah, I think Lo Celso, he does have the potential there. And we do have a new channel member, the English Yid. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Becoming our 5th channel member, which I think unlocks some new features for me that I can offer to you, to any potential channel members. So please do keep an eye out for that. We may be offering some more things in the future. The English Yid joining at Premier League level. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Mr. K saying Jose has never held his tongue back from criticising Delhi. I don't see Jose wanting Delhi out. It looks like from last year to this year he's doing something with Delhi, and I think that is a very good point. Jose Mourinho doesn't seem like he's trying to force Ali out of the club. Now we know there was talk over the summer that Mourinho wanted Ali to go, but Daniel Levy was the one keen to keep him. But it does seem as though he's trying to work with Ali rather than forcing him out of the club. We'll have to wait and see where that one goes. So the free kick here on the edge of the box for Real Madrid, it's maximum a yard outside the box. If someone lying down there behind the wall, so you'd imagine that wall is going to be getting off the ground. And Sergio Ramos standing over it, I think recently passed 100 goals for Real Madrid. He really fancied this one. It's going to be difficult to get over and under the wall, but there's a couple of Madrid players there standing at the keeper's side. Ramos hits it and it is blocked by the wall. And it's out for a corner. Michael saying, Matt, what's the one player you'd bring into the club in January? Giroud with a cross, good defending there by is that Mason Holgate. It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. Whenever get your opinion, Spurs fans, if you could bring one player to the club in January, again, realistically, put it down in the live comments and we'll run through those. It would be either Skriniar or Sabitzer, but I don't know which one I would choose because I don't know which one Jose Mourinho kind of wants more. You know, back at the end of the summer, I said the one thing that could cost us was missing out on Milan Skriniar. But we have the best defence in the league, 5 clean sheets in the last 6. When I say best defence in the league, I mean statistically. 5 clean sheets in the last 6. We've got 3 clean sheets in a row against City, Chelsea and Arsenal. I don't think centre-back will be the main thing that we'll be looking for in the summer anymore. Michael saying, don't get me wrong, Matt, I love Spurs, born in 61 or double year, and I'll never stop watching, but I'm so used to attacking Spurs, I'm finding it difficult to swallow. Win Premiership will convince me. Yeah, look, I know it's very different to the way we have played in the past, and Tottenham historically have, to some degree, been known for their kind of attacking football. We've had fantastic players at the club, like Jimmy Greaves, who scored 266 goals for Spurs, the likes of Glenn Hoddle, Jurgen Klinsmann, David Ginelaz. Richarlison hits it and Edward Mendy manages to turn it away and Chilwell prevents the corner. It is very different to what we have done in the past, but while for some it may be difficult to watch now, I think, as you say, if we do manage to lift a Premier League trophy or an FA Cup and Europa League, whatever it is, I think we will kind of, even if you don't enjoy it, if you don't appreciate it, you will accept it, because at the end of the day, football is about winning trophies. And I think to some extent we did kind of kid ourselves under Pochettino when we were saying, oh, we haven't won any trophies, but look how well we're playing. Look at the way we're passing the ball. We're dominating possession. We're scoring loads of goals, but we weren't winning games when it mattered. And I do think we did kind of kid ourselves when we said it's not all about trophies, because Pochettino said that a few times himself. But I think deep down we all would have chosen defensive football and a trophy over just playing really well and not really winning anything. Kwame saying Jose doesn't exclude Delhi from the club, but I think Delhi needs to double up to impress Jose. See the Delhi we missed for a long time. Flamethrower saying we should be trying to sign Kezia as a cover for Sissoko or Højbjerg because Winks can't cover for him. I think Kezia will be a difficult player to get in, especially as a backup option, to be honest. He's playing with AC Milan at the moment. They're top of this area. I don't think he's going to be too keen to move out of there, but he's a very good player, and if the option was there to bring him in, I certainly hope we would take that. Chance for Everton, Decore out to Sigurdsson. Calvert-Lewin tries to whip it, but it's blocked by Kurt Zouma, and a couple of thousand fans there behind the goal appealing for it, and a chance there for Atletico Madrid as well. I think it's Thomas Lemar there coming in at the back post. He couldn't quite wrap his foot around that one. He's put it wide. May feel as though he should have done better with that. But it looks like Atletico Madrid did make 2 changes at the break. Angel Correa and Thomas Lemar came on. Oh, that's a bad miss by Thomas Lemar. Just haven't seen it there again. Comes through to him at the back post, and he's plenty of time. He's lined that up. It is a tight enough angle, and there's Courtois getting back across his goal. Varane has completely missed the clearance, but Lemar has to at least hit the target there. He'll be disappointed with that. Fusion says Delhi needs to get his attitude right to begin with. Rob saying, who was your favourite non-Spurs player currently playing in the Premier League, and would they get into the Spurs team? My favourite non-Spurs player right now, and he's not the best player in the Premier League outside Spurs. I'm not going to claim that he is, because I know he isn't. It's Phil Foden. I absolutely love watching Phil Foden play. Sigurdsson with the free kick. Oh, it's just over the bar from 25 yards out. Gylfi Sigurdsson wraps his foot around that one, and Edward Mendy was rooted to the ground. He wasn't moving. He managed to get it up over the wall. It's a 2-man wall from Chelsea. Oh, that's so close from Gylfi Sigurdsson. And Mendy had not given up all hope of it. He's caught that so sweetly with whip and power. It's gone just over the bar. Yeah, with Phil Foden, for definite. I just love watching him play. His technical ability, the way he moves with the ball, the way he passes it, his close control. He's a pleasure to watch. And does he get into the Spurs team? I don't know. There are players in the Spurs team that he's better than. There's midfielders in the Spurs team that he's better than. But because of the way we play, I'm not sure he does get into the team. Now, perhaps on right wing, maybe he does, because the way we play with the right wing, he does kind of pull in narrow. He comes into the centre to create the space for the right back. So perhaps on the right wing, there could be space there for him. And he is better than a lot of the players in the Spurs team, or some of the players in that Spurs midfield. But because of the system, I think it will be hard to find space in there for him. In that nursing, Basuma is another option. The English Yid, new channel member, saying give Inter Sanchez and hand over 20 million for Skriniar. Job done. What's your thoughts? I would love for that to happen. I would absolutely love if we could get that done. It gets Sanchez out of the club and we manage to get Skriniar for a cut price. But it all comes down to Inter Milan's valuation of Davinson Sanchez in that situation, because when I had Fabrizio Romano on the Fan Voice podcast a few months ago, he was saying Inter Milan aren't going to budge on their valuation of the player for Spurs because of the way Spurs were in negotiations for Christian Eriksen, and in the past when they were trying to get Sissoko and Lamela from us. Tottenham aren't exactly open to negotiate any sort of a price tag. So Inter Milan will be the same back to us, which, look, is fair. So I would love for that to happen, but whether or not it could happen is a different question. Michael saying getting Skriniar would hurt Rodon developing. I'd take Sabitzer. Look, it might, but I think, again, that's been something we did in the past where he said, this player is young, he has the potential to develop. Let's not get someone who'd knock him out of the team. Again, I think we're kind of kidding ourselves. The most important thing is now. And that's what we need to sort out. That's what we need to fix. And I think if we had to choose there, I would choose Skriniar over developing Rodon, to be honest, because there's still going to be potential for him to develop. He'll be available for the Europa League now. Now that the group stage is over. He, of course, missed the cutoff point to be registered for our Europa League group stage team. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out for him. But I would take Skriniar over developing him. Michael saying, Matt, as much as I love Dele, he doesn't seem to be buying into Jose's plan, but perhaps it's time to cash in on him. I hope things change for Dele. He was never a good defender. Yeah, it's different. It's a different system that we're playing, and it just doesn't suit Dele Alli. I think if he really wanted to get into the team, he would adapt his style of play, and rather than finding a system that suited him, he'd make sure that he suited the system, which I just don't know if he does have the attitude for, unfortunately. But I think it's a strange one, because he is a Jose Mourinho player. He's that player he has the talent, but he also has that bite and that, what's the word for that, kind of controlled aggression, maybe, that kind of, I can't think of the precise word for it, but I think you all know what I'm talking about. He just is a Jose Mourinho player, so it's a weird one that he's the one that's kind of been pushed to the side during Mourinho's tenure. But look, we'll have to wait and see. Again, only time will tell if there is a place for him at Spurs in the long term. And a change here for Atletico Madrid, and one that could change this game with Sel Niguez coming on for João Felix, actually. So probably a change of formation here, potentially a 4-3-3 for Atletico, with Correa on the right and Thomas Lemar on the left, Luis Suarez up front with the midfield trio of Saul, Koke, and if I can remember who else is on the team. The other lad in midfield, I forget who it is. Flamethrower saying, how did it feel to have Fabrizio on your podcast? it was a crazy thing. His email is on his Instagram account. And I sent him an email. I've been tagging him on Twitter and things, just trying to get a bit of, a few likes, a few retweets or whatever. But he didn't reply to any of those. And I sent him an email one day and he's like, yeah, sure, let me know when. And I was absolutely shocked. To be honest, I thought it was a scam at first. But it was a crazy thing. And I'd love to have him on again in the future. I'm going to try and get him on in January again to see if we can get a bit of an insight into how our transfers are developing, but we'll have to wait and see how that one goes. Martin saying, player I love to watch is Jack Grealish. You almost signed him a few years back. Yeah, Jack Grealish at times can be a pleasure to watch, but at times can be a bit of a frustration to watch. So he throws himself onto the ground a lot. A lot of players do that. But that's a rough challenge there by Reece James. And the referee, is he reaching for the back pocket? what colour is the card? It's a yellow card there for Reece James, but that was a very poor challenge. It's Allen picking up possession deep in Everton's half, and Reece James kind of coming in from an angle. Let's see here. Oh, the studs are up, but look, he gets the ball. He does follow through. It looks dangerous, but it's a controlled challenge. I think a yellow card is the right decision there. But yeah, no, Grealish is a very good player. Meisterly saying Spurs have a very narrow window to win Premier League with Man City, Chelsea, Man United all building. Has to happen this or next season. Kane will be off if it doesn't happen. And look, I think I know it may seem like a bit of an excuse, but Spurs quite a bit have seemed to be a bit unfortunate in the seasons that we have performed. And that 2015-16 we were very good, and all of a sudden it was Leicester up there winning the Premier League title. The season after that, we finished with 86 points, which would have been enough to win the title in 13 previous Premier League seasons. Then, of course, Chelsea finished on 93. And now we're kind of looking good. But City and Liverpool, as I said, appear to have some sort of monopoly over the Premier League. And Chelsea looking good now as well. I can't see United anywhere near the title race in the coming years. But yeah, we are a bit unfortunate. In that nurse saying Davinson Sanchez is only good at playing against a bunch of dead teams. Rob, look, you're welcome in the stream, and I appreciate the support, but let's not slag Dele Alli. Scumminess is not the word that I'm looking for. It's not. We don't slag Dele Alli in this stream. Thomas saying that was a coup getting Romano on. To be honest, no, I definitely agree with that. I'm still kind of shocked that it did happen, but it was a pleasure talking to him, getting his insight. And again, I do hope to have him on again in January. So make sure to stay tuned. Hopefully we can get something sorted there. Michael saying, I totally agree, Matt. Goal. 2-0 to Real Madrid here. Looks like Danny Carvajal has gotten on the score sheet. I don't have the commentary on for that game, so I certainly missed that one. But Atletico Madrid have conceded as many goals tonight as they had in the first 10 games of the season, and look to be on course for their second defeat of the year as well. Danny Carvajal scoring his first league goal of the season. Real Madrid more than likely now moving to within 3 points of their local rivals. Stefan Savic isn't happy. He's having a word with the referee. Simeone is scowling in his seat. It's a free kick whipped in from the outside. Oh, there's calls here for an offside. Oh, it's an own goal from Jan Oblak. It's the ball is crossed in from the free kick. It's headed out to the edge of the box, and Carvajal about 30 yards out. He controls it on his chest, gets it out in front of him, and he lets rip with a fantastic strike in the half volley. And it's just spinning away, and it hits the post and comes back and hits the back of Jan Oblak and goes in. So I think that will go down as an own goal, which would be very unfortunate on Carvajal and even more so on Jan Oblak. But regardless, it's 2-0 to Real Madrid. Michael saying, I totally agree, Matt. Delhi needs to adapt a new system, as do I, as a lifelong supporter. I suppose only difference is Delhi's worth a lot of money. Sadly, you'll get nothing for me. In that nurse saying we need to win trophies so the rival fans can stop bringing up their boring jokes. I think, look, more than rival fans bringing up their jokes, we need to win a trophy. There's no point in having the decade that we've had where we've developed so much as a team, but if we come out of it with nothing, I mean, it's not worth anything. No one's going to remember that year or that decade. Tottenham played great football because we didn't win anything. So I think for us, more so than opposition fans, we do need to win a trophy. Thomas saying Delhi isn't willing to do the running Jose asks of him. It's that simple. Dominic Calvert-Lewin here for Everton. He tries to cut inside. Oh, he's taken down. It's another penalty for Everton, and this could be a massive, massive result for Spurs. It's Dominic Calvert-Lewin breaks forward down the right-hand side. Ben Chilwell coming across him to try and prevent him from cutting inside. Calvert-Lewin knocks the ball back inside him and gets his body between Chilwell and the ball, and Chilwell takes him down. And look, it's definitely the right decision. The only concern here is Calvert-Lewin offside in the build-up. Oh, I think they'll be looking at that in VAR. It will be slips the ball in behind him. Calvert-Lewin tries to hold his run. But potentially he could be offside there. And it's clumsy by Chilwell. He tries to get his arm across Calvert-Lewin, but their legs tangled together, and the referee points to the spot. No hesitation. We'll get back to these comments in a second. Just a penalty here. VAR are having a look at it. Andre Mariner. It's offside. It is offside. It won't be a penalty for Everton. Calvert-Lewin leaning forward into an offside position. It won't be a penalty. Massive relief there for Ben Chilwell, I'm sure. It will be plays the ball. Calvert-Lewin just leaning forward as he's running. He's definitely offside, so no penalty there. Thomas saying, told you, Matt, 3-0 Madrid. Aberdeen boys know the score. And look, you could be right. Only one goal to go. The English Yid saying Delhi can be our Grealish. He just needs to get his act together and buy into... Yeah, it is offside. And buy into what Mourinho wants of him. And I believe we will see the Delhi we first saw when he came to us. And hopefully, cause that's all we want. That is all we want. We're not asking for anything we're not asking for anything insane from him. We're asking just for him to go back to the player that he was. It's disappointing to see such a fall from grace for him, because he was, that 2016-17 season, he scored 18 goals in the league, got another 10 assists. He was outstanding numbers. And Kai Havertz here breaking forward, trying to find space in the edge of the box, and Yerry Mina, Abdullah Decore gets a foot in there. McCallum taken down, rash challenger by Thiago Silva, and he's allowing Everton a way out. We just want the same Dele Alli back, to be honest. Rob saying, not slagging, I mean that he has that scumminess that Josie likes his player to have. Yeah, he has that kind of, I can't think of the precise word. I don't want to go with scumminess, but I understand what you're saying now. It's that kind of bite. I can't think of the precise word, but look, I think scumminess is a good substitute for it. I think everyone knows what I'm trying to say anyway, but yeah, there's just something about him that makes him a Mourinho player. Michael says, what trophy do you see as our best chance to win something? I think we're in a great position to win the Carabao Cup now, to be honest. And look, it's not a prestigious trophy. It's not one that we'll call a season definer or whatever. As the ball drops here for Richarlison in the box, trying to find space. Is that Kovacic? Reece James trying to force him wide now, and Richarlison does well there to win the corner. But yeah, Carabao Cup probably our best chance. I think we're in there in the Premier League and the FA Cup as well, though, and Europa League, barring AC Milan. I can't see any team there who could beat us. Martin saying top players want Champions League footy, so top four is more important. Sad to say. And look, it's a debate that a lot of people have, and I've asked it a lot in the past, and I've answered it a lot in the past. Would you rather win the FA Cup or get the top four? And while a trophy is great, I think for the club to progress and become better, it would have to be a Champions or a top four finish, because when you get in the Champions League, you attract better players. It's like winning an FA Cup. It's not going to do much in terms of getting better players into the club. And wasn't it Arsenal who won the Champions League last season? They didn't do much in the way of recruitment in the summer. I think Thomas Partey was a good addition for them, but if they were in the top four, they would have gotten better players. Mr. K saying, Matt, you should get a spot in the live kickoff on the True Geordie. You'd be an excellent pundit on that show. And look, it would be an absolute privilege to get on that show, but unfortunately, they seem to have their cast picked for that. I don't think I'll be on there anytime soon. Thomas saying, look, we will still get massive bunts on Delhi. Look, hopefully we can get some money in for him if he does leave, and I think we will, but I would prefer him to have a future at the club. The English Shade saying, you're doing a live watch along tomorrow, Matt. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm working all day tomorrow. I'm working 9 to 6, so I won't even get to watch the game myself. But hopefully we'll have some sort of live stream tomorrow night with a few others to try to get the Irish Shade and maybe some others on here for a chat about the game, but I won't be doing a live watch along, unfortunately. Let's have a look. There's been 4,500 people have joined us throughout the duration of the stream. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined. We're on 56 likes at the moment. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to smash that like button. And just as a bit of a lull in these two games, I just want to give you a reminder, if you are new to the channel, this is what we're all about. Change here for Chelsea as Tammy Abraham comes on to replace Kai Havertz. So probably going two up front there on that one. I'll take a quick look at the stats here in this Everton Chelsea game. Now let's see how am I going to do this, because I don't want to cover the games. The wrong game. Sorry, just give me a second there. I was taking a look. I suppose the details only have them here. 2-0 to Real Madrid, of course, a bit more of the ball. And I think these are the kind of stats you expect from Atletico Madrid. 10 shots to 2 for Real. Only 2 on target. One of them went in, one of them saved by Oblak. Of course, the second goal still down as a Danny Carvajal goal. I'll be surprised if it stays that way. Actually, a triple sub there at the break for Atletico Madrid, which I didn't realise. Real Madrid having the better things. They've hit the woodwork twice already. One of them ended up in the back of net, of course, dominating the passes. winning the duels and everything. It's been a good performance from Real Madrid, and definitely better than I was expecting. And let's see if we can take a look at the Everton stats here. Everton Chelsea. Can we see those there? Yeah, perfect. So you have 73% possession for Chelsea. I did not know that. it doesn't look that way when you're watching the game. 8 shots to 8, so fairly even in that regard. 3 shots to 4 on target. Not too bad from either side. Everton definitely doing a lot more with the ball. I looked at possession a lot of first half and second half. 75% in the second half for Chelsea, and Everton having twice as many shots in this second half. But still, that Gylfi Sigurdsson penalty in the first half is the difference. I don't think Everton will care what the stats look like if they can't come out of this one with 3 points. About 20 minutes left in these games. Of course, as you can see there at the bottom of the screen, Everton 1-0 up against Chelsea and Real Madrid with a 2-goal cushion over local rivals Atletico Madrid as they try to close the gap at the top of the table. Antoine Griezmann saying Madrid derby 2-0. I'm sure Antoine Griezmann is watching with a vested interest in that game. Caleb saying, do you think we should loan Dele out or sell him permanently? I think a loan deal is the best for Ali in January. I don't want to see him leave permanently. I still do think there is something he can offer. No, the stream hasn't ended. That was my little teaser there for the channel. Michael saying, Matt, do you see us playing counter-attacking tomorrow against Palace or changing it up? I think it's going to be a much more balanced approach to this game. I don't think we're going to be playing counter-attacking football. I don't think we're going to be playing trying to dominate the game, trying to dominate possession. I think it'll be a lot more balanced. Atletico Madrid here making another sub is that Jeffrey Kondogbia coming on for Luis Suarez. So another change in formation there for them. They were 3-5-2 already, so adding another man in midfield. I'm not quite sure what kind of formation they'll be putting together there. Suarez doesn't look too happy as he's walking off the pitch. Yeah, I think it'll be very balanced in that game. I don't think there'll be anything. Don't think we'll be going to either extreme in terms of attacking or defensive football in that one. Antoine Griezmann saying, watch Madrid derby. Why watch this lame game? I'm watching both. I'm watching the Madrid derby and this lame game. Lame game has probably been the better game, to be honest. Look, maybe just enjoy Premier League football more, but yeah, I'm watching both games. The English Shade saying these are the sort of games we will see what Lampard is made of, I think, and I agree with you. You know, it's easy for Lampard to go out and beat a Leeds team who just weren't at it at all. I think Leeds were even worse last night against West Ham. It's easy to go out and win those games. He's already shown he's perhaps lacking something as a manager with the 3-3 draws against West Brom and Southampton. But yeah, we'll see how if he does manage to change his game, because to be honest, I can't even make out what formation they're playing now. They've Giroud, Werner, and Abraham all on the pitch at the moment. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do. Mr. K saying, truthfully, who has ever come back from loan? Danny Rose was loaned out for quite a bit, and he turned out to be a really good player for us. Jack Clark was on loan at Leeds and QPR last season. He's looking positive. He's looking good when he gets back, unless you're a young talent. Aside from that, I don't know. But look, it's worth a try. I think the way I've described it in the past is we can send him out to a team like PSG and he can come back with a sense of confidence. Even if it is a false sense of confidence, it's confidence nonetheless. And I just think he needs game time. He needs to kind of get that winning feeling back. He needs to play good football again. And he's not going to get that at Spurs, unfortunately. Rob saying, how does the top of the table look at the end of the season? Honestly, now, Rob, you're not going to like my answer, but I really do think Tottenham can be at the top of the table. And this is where a lot of people have, a lot of opposition fans especially, have kind of misunderstood me. When I say Tottenham can win the league, it's very different to saying Tottenham will win the league. They're two very, very different statements. I think Tottenham can win the league, but I also think City can win the league. Liverpool can win the league. Chelsea can win the league. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I thought Everton could win the league. And slowly there are teams starting to drop out of this title race. And Tottenham are still there. Tottenham are still top of the table. And the biggest question people had about Spurs, I don't know, again, Rob, you weren't a big fan of this on Twitter, but the biggest question was, can Tottenham do it against the big teams? And in the past, we couldn't. And look, we can't argue that. Our record against the top six was atrocious. But we beat City. We got a draw at Chelsea, which is better than we usually do. We beat Arsenal. That's 7 points out of 9, 3 clean sheets in 3 games against 3 of the traditional big 6. Ooh, the effort there from range. Is it Marcus Llorente? Oh, it's Sam Liguez. Look, I think Tottenham can be up there. Liverpool are still the favourites for the league title, but Jose Mourinho Jose Mourinho likes being the underdog. Tottenham like being the underdog. It's just things are starting to come together. There are things that just kind of do suggest this could be your year. Flamethrower saying, did you see Gary Neville's comments on the Manchester derby? I didn't, to be honest, but I can't imagine they were too complimentary. It wasn't a very good game of football, and United didn't offer too much. And Harry Maguire is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on a Premier League pitch. Michael saying, what do you make of Skip, Parrott and Sessegnon on loan? Will they have spots in the team next year? I think Sessegnon and Skip could. Troy Parrott, I think he still has a while to go. XG saying, I'd rather see Delhi start Thursday nights than Bale. He just needs to play. Yeah, I think he does need game time. And I was surprised that he didn't come on during the week against Antwerp. Rob saying, Divock Origi came back from loan and scored a Champions League final. Well, there was no need to bring the Champions League final up, but you're dead on. Origi has been fantastic for Liverpool since coming back from his loan deal. His loan spell at... I can't remember who he was on loan at. It was someone on the continent, wasn't it? I'll give it a quick search here. Wolfsburg. That's where he was. Wolfsburg in 2017-18. He came back and he scored in a Champions League final the next season. And it wasn't just that. He, of course, scored two against... Did he score two against Barcelona? He's been a good player for even outside of that game. The English Yid saying, because us fans got steak when Mourinho came and said he's a washed up and a dinosaur, well, he's proven a lot of people wrong and just get over it. He's a top manager. And that's exactly it. Again, as I said, I'm guilty of it. I hold my hands up. I said the same when he was appointed. And it was no point me lying about it. There's videos on the internet of me saying it. But there's also videos of me saying he's not the manager I would have chosen, but he's Tottenham's manager, so I'm going to support him 100%. I'm going to back him 100%. And thankfully, it turns out Daniel Levy made the right call. And again, he's proven people wrong. He's still as good a manager as he ever has been. Caleb saying, every time I watch a Spurs preview on YouTube, they always hate on us saying negative, but when Jose wins, they just say he's a decent coach. Yeah, look, people don't have the... I don't know how to say it without seeming harsh, but they see a team defending and think, oh, that's just negative football. Calvert-Lewin fighting with... Oh, that's really good defending by Reece James there. Fantastic place to get back in that one. But yeah, people see a team defending and immediately go, that's negative. He's parking the bus. Why is he doing that? He's not a good manager. It's more than that with Mourinho. And again, it's proven by the fact that we are top of the league. It won him a league title, but Real Madrid, it won him a Champions League at Inter Milan. I think that's kind of all you need to know. Michael saying, Matt Grealish is a far better player than Delhi. He is a fantastic engine, technically brilliant, and makes tackles to win back the ball. We could have gotten for 25 million. Look, I think at the time, 25 million didn't seem like a very good deal for Jack Grealish. I think we offered 50 million pounds just before deadline day. And of course, it was turned down. I think at the time, we would have asked a lot of questions if we paid 25 million. But now, kind of in hindsight, you're thinking we probably should have done that. But we can't get too carried away with that. Jack Bennett saying, is anyone else's live score app not playing the matches? I'll have a look at my one there. I'm not using live score to watch the game. But live score is my favorite score app. Definitely, a lot of people ask me why I don't have one football or anything like that. And Decore, the ball coming into him at the back post. Just unfortunate, just ran past him there. Let me find La Liga here. There's nothing on La Liga, which there usually is, isn't there? Is it Serie A they show as well? The Lazio Hellas Verona game is showing. Oh no, it's not. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. Please stand by. Yeah, my app is the same, Jack. Antoine Griezmann saying rumours that Delhi will be sold to PSG for £56 million. Look, do you know what? If we can get that much money for him, I might change my mind in terms of letting him go. We'll have to wait and see. Amish saying, will Bale shine at Spurs again? He can, but it's looking increasingly unlikely with every game that passes. Thomas hate Collymore's narrative in his rag about Spurs. He should stick to dodgy car parks, in my opinion. Look, every pundit at the moment is the same. They don't like Spurs. Again, they just look at it, see defending and say that's negative football. But it is a lot more than that. It definitely is. About 12 minutes left to go here at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Chelsea 0. 10 minutes left to go at the Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano as Real Madrid lead 2-0 against Atletico Madrid in the Madrid derby. It's a good ball into the box. And fantastic save there by Thibaut Courtois. I'm not sure who it was who got his head in that, but it was a brilliant ball whipped in the left, and it was Saul coming in at the back post, and he's got his head in it, but Courtois did well. The corner's been taken quickly here, and running Lodi with the cross, and it's an easy claim there for Courtois. Frustration for Atletico Madrid there. That was their first shot on target in the 81st minute. I think it's Renan Lodi crossing it from the left-hand side, and Saul Niguez does well to kind of get his head back behind him and and knocked the ball forward, but he struggled to get any sort of accuracy on it, just directed towards goal. And Courtois has done well to palm that behind. Caleb saying, yeah, 56 million is way 56 pounds. No, 56 million pounds is way too much. Probably around 20 to 30 million for Dele Alli. XG saying Everton look like scoring again. Lamps out. I think it's a bit too soon to say that, but Everton do look really dangerous on the break here. Everton or Chelsea committing a lot of men forward to try and get this one. Try and find the equalisers. Reece James strike forward. That's a stupid foul by Abdoulaye Doucouré. And it gives Chelsea a really good opportunity here with a free kick in the edge of the box. I think Reece James will be up on his feet. And I wanted to be the man to take that straight away. Excuse me. He turned Sigurdsson way too easy there. And Doucouré is coming in from the opposite side. And he leans into him. He tries to wrap his foot around him. It's a silly foul. And a good chance here for Chelsea from the free kick. Antoine Griezmann saying Maddison or Grealish. I'd probably say Grealish simply for the fact that he'd fit better into our team. Thomas saying, if the result goes our way, we must capitalise against Palace. Absolutely, 100%. I think we need to beat Palace regardless, because Liverpool is a very easy fixture tomorrow. You'd expect them to get 3 points at Craven Cottage. But a win here for Everton. Even a draw, Chelsea dropping points would be very good for Spurs. The English did say, Matt, all this about Mourinho parking buses and that. I don't care if he starts parking coaches. If he can win us trophies, I don't care how we play. And just remember, teams playing in style are temporary. I couldn't agree with you more. I absolutely could not agree with you more. I don't care how we play football if we're winning trophies. Just to get back to that in a sec, here's a free kick for Chelsea. Mount, James and Chilwell standing over it. Mount looks like he fancies this one. He goes for goal. He goes keeper side and hits the post. And Pickford again making that step in behind the wall way too soon. And I don't know if Chelsea have been looking at that, if they know that Pickford is going to do that. Because it's a few free kicks where they've gone to Pickford's side, and a real sense of relief there in Jordan Pickford's face, on his face. It's a free kick from the left-hand side, about 25 yards out. Mason Mount, as he runs up to it, Pickford ends up almost in the middle of his goal as the strike is taken. And it's really questionable from Jordan Pickford. You know, he has to trust his wall in that situation. He takes a massive step. He's almost at the he's almost at the right post there as that ball hits the post. He dives across and gets nowhere near it. Oh, it's a good strike with Thomas Lamar. It's just gone over the bar. Very, very poor. Very poor from Jordan Pickford. Lee Henhan, welcome to the stream. Antoine Griezmann saying Ronaldo or Messi. For me, it's Messi. I know that's one that will cause a lot of always causes a big debate, but Messi for me. Martin saying, if the Goons lose to Burnley, can you see Arteta getting sacked? Not yet. Not yet. And I don't want them to get sacked either, because I do think they're going downhill with him in charge. But I think they're going to need more than one more defeat to see him out. Because, you know, trust the process, they say. Trust the process. I think that they will give him a bit more time. It's Billy Gilmore here is coming on for Chelsea to replace Mateo Kovacic. Massive compliment to Gilmore for him to be put into this team. Matt, look, he's an outstanding player. I'm not going to deny, but big confidence in him to put him out on that pitch. Dean saying, how do you feel that Jimmy Traore and Alberto Moreno have more Champions Leagues than your club? Moving on. Michael saying, Matt, I have to admit, when Kane and Son came on during the week, I was very nervous. We depend on both to win games. Where are we if both get injured? I'm very fearful. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked when they came on, because we saw Harry Kane lining up. He was getting ready to come on, and then Carlos Vinicius scored. And for me, that was all great. We'll see Kane sit down and maybe one of the younger players will come on. And then all of a sudden, Son and Ndombele are there too coming on. I was surprised, but I think it does go to show how much Mourinho values the Europa League and how much he needed that top spot. I think it bodes well for our future in that competition and how much he'll actually go out to try and win it. I'm going to ignore that, Lee. Like Faisal saying, score guess for Tottenham versus Liverpool. I may regret saying this on the internet, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Spurs. I think we can do a job at Anfield. And look, Tottenham fans at the moment do feel invincible, and it's a dangerous way to feel. But I do think we can beat Liverpool on Wednesday, even though it is at Anfield. I think we can end that unbeaten run they have there. I wouldn't be surprised if we ran out 1-0 winners in that one. Chelsea getting forward here. Werner crossing it in. Giroud just snatches at it with his right foot and fires it over the bar. But Everton now looking to be holding out for this 1-0 win. They're camping behind the ball. Chelsea finding pockets of space in the wide areas. It was a good ball in by Timo Werner, but Giroud just snatched at it. He's done well. There's 6 Everton defenders there in that box, and it's still run through to Olivier Giroud. Definitely concerning for Everton that the ball managed to find it there, but the Everton fans in full voice now trying to spur their team on. Yeah, 1-0 Spurs I'm going to go for in that one. Hoping for a Europa League final between Milan and Spurs, says Antoine Griezmann. That'll be a really interesting one. Thomas saying the best all-round player in history is still Zizou. Rob saying if you don't win a trophy this season, how long does Jose have before the inevitable turn? One more season. I mean, he's here for trophies. If he doesn't win trophies, I mean, he's not exactly building something for the future. He's not putting together a team that'll be there for 5-10 years. He's here for trophies. And if he doesn't win it in 1 year, if he doesn't win it in 2 years, maybe give him a third year. But as you say, the inevitable turn, things could start going sour then. So we'll have to wait and see. As Everton break forward here, Ben Godfrey charging forward, finds Charlison out on the left, and he's just happy to slow this one down. Everton they're not too keen to go and try and get the second goal. Gomez looking for Charlison on the turn. I'm not quite sure how that's happened there. I think Richarlison has thrown himself into Reece James, and the referee has balled it. It is a free kick. Oh, maybe James had a hole of Richarlison there, but it is a free kick and a chance for Everton to get the ball into the box here. Celery Agent saying, hey, Maddie, good to see you. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much for that, Celery Agent. And Dara O'Grady, welcome to the stream, Dara. Drawing 0-0 last day of the season and you need a winner to win the league. Came down injured and all you have left on the bench are Dean and Rob Hogan. Which one do you bring to win it? I'll just accept it. We're not winning the league, Dara. Flamethrower saying, who are some English players that you like, who we can sign and can help our homegrown problem in the Europa or Champions League? I think Damari Gray is a good option there. It looks like we will be getting him for free at the end of the season. So he's definitely an option there. Celery Agent saying Chelsea loss will be a great start to the day. Come on, Everton. I have a feeling I know what that date is, Dean. I have a feeling. I'm not going to look it up because I think I know what I'm going to see. But you only just subscribed and you're running close to being blocked already. I won't lie to you. Like Faisal saying, I'll be honest, I think it'll be a bore draw, Tottenham and Liverpool, or Liverpool win as their class in my opinion. Look, if it is a 0-0 draw, I'll take that as well. If we can stay unbeaten, keep that kind of momentum going, and look, if we just improve on our if we can improve on our results in certain stadiums last season, and Rob, I see that message there. Then that's all we can do, really. Dean saying, I'd brand Dara Grady score an own goal. Dara saying, great answer and great live stream. Thanks a million, Dara. I appreciate you tuning in. Thinking of Shid saying, Matt, I think we can say a huge thanks to Ledley King for our defensive performances of late. And we've seen how vocal Ledley King has been on the sideline. It's easy to see the effect he's had in the defence. But we also, the Mourinho cam that we're starting to see now, Ledley King is really vocal on the sideline. Angel Correa looks to cut in there. Good defending there, and Atletico Madrid has been kept out again. Corner for Everton as Gilmore clears it out for another corner. A goal here for Everton puts this game to bed for definite. Caleb saying, Matt, if Bale doesn't perform, do you think we won't sign him permanently or we'll look for other options, etc.? Leon Bailey, Damari Gray. I think we're going to have another year of Bale regardless. I think it's inevitable that loan deal will be extended by another year. As Andre Gomez whips in this corner. It's cleared out. Richarlison takes a touch. Back out to Andre Gomez. Could be a chance here for Everton to wrap this one up. He beats Gilmore. Gomez gets the ball in. It's put out for a goal kick. I think we're going to have a second year of Gareth Bale. His loan deal will be extended by another year. I think that'll happen regardless of how this season goes. And then all of a sudden, at the end of that 2-year loan spell, his contract at Real Madrid is up and he's a free agent. So I think if we can get his wages down, I can't see him signing us permanently. But if he still wants that much money, I think he'll be quite surprised, or he shouldn't really be expecting Tottenham to pay him that much. Yeah, there it is. That second Real Madrid goal is gone down as an Oblak own goal. It was a long-range effort from Danny Carvajal, smashed into the post, and it came off the back of Oblak as Carvajal again, or is that Lucas Vazquez this time? The vicious effort from a tight angle, and Oblak does well to palm it behind for a corner. Carla saying, watch for Marcus Edwards to return. Look, he's doing pretty decent at Vitoria Guimaraes. He's a player who had a lot of potential, just didn't live, unfortunately. Rob saying, considering all of the injuries, if Liverpool had a fully fit squad, would you still be so confident for the upcoming match? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's no way. Like, you'd easily beat us if you had that full squad. But it's because your defence has been weakened and we're such a dangerous team that the best defences at times can't deal with us. I think you find it hard to keep us at bay. And you're missing a lot of your creative figures like Thiago. Diogo Jota now out for potentially 2 months with a knee injury. I think you're in trouble. I think you're in big trouble. for the game on Wednesday especially, but if the injuries keep piling up, of course, for more long term. Dean Corbett saying best Spurs goal you've ever seen besides Eric Edmond. Well, that was a beautiful strike from Edmond against Liverpool. If we're talking best quality goal, I think it's very different to my favourite goal. Obviously, my favourite goal is that third Lucas one in Amsterdam. The best Spurs goal I've seen, I think Harry Kane against Arsenal a couple of years ago when he's cutting in from the left-hand side, the side of the box, and whipped it into the far post. That was a sensational goal. Dara saying, what player on the pitch right now would you most like to see at Spurs? Oh, it's a tough one because it's going to sound quite cocky, but I don't think there's any positions in our team that we really need to improve. But I think N'Golo Kante walks into most teams in the world, but then again, we have Højbjerg in that position who suits our system perfectly. And I'm not saying Højbjerg is better than Kante, but for the system that we're playing, Højbjerg is perfect. I think Timo Werner is a fantastic player. I think he could do a job for us down the right hand side. If we're talking maybe prospect for the future, I think Billy Gilmore he's going places. But if I had to choose, I'd say Timo Werner probably. Antoine Griezmann saying, what about a Dembele and Son swap? We really need a good injury-free left winger. Son's not leaving Spurs anytime soon. The English Jid saying Ledley King, future manager. And that's the talk. People are kind of expecting Ledley King to be the man to take over from Jose Mourinho whenever he leaves. But I'm not too sure if that's a very good option. And I don't think it is something Daniel Levy will be open to, because it would be weird to go from such a high-profile manager, high-profile, successful, experienced manager to someone newer like Ledley King. A chance here for Everton on the break. Andre Gomes breaking on the left-hand side. They have numbers flooding forward. Is this John Joe Kenny? He's just come on out the left-hand side. They've just slowed it down again. 5 minutes added on, about 30 seconds of that 5 played. And Gomes does very well there to win the corner for Everton. Nick Jackson saying it would be funny if Chelsea ended up in Europa this season. XG saying Mora versus Ajax is my favourite of all time, fan since 1964. My prize is saying, what do you think should have happened to Pickford for Virgil van Dijk thing in the derby? I think that's a red card. I really do. He's out of control. He's over the ball. He's endangered an opponent. It fits every criteria for a red card. I still can't believe he wasn't sent off for that. Caleb saying, if we get Skriniar, who will be benched? Eric Dyer. He's been fantastic this season, but I would bench Eric Dyer over Toby. Chelsea defending pretty well and looking to get forward again. Antoine Griezmann saying Werner forgot his miss. He's had a number of misses, but typically Bundesliga players struggle to adapt to the Premier League. But when they do, my God, are they good? And Werner has insane potential. Flamethrower saying, what are your thoughts in Dybala possibly joining? Personally, I think we have that position covered with Celso and Ndombele. I think Dybala, there's less than a 1% chance of him joining. I think he will be leaving Juventus soon, but I can see him ending up at PSG. I don't think we will ever see Dybala in a Spurs jersey. Martin saying Gaza versus Goons, free kick. I was there. It's one hell of a goal to say you witnessed live. Rob saying Timo Werner was heavily linked with us, but was overlooked by Klopp in favour of Jota. Who do you think has worked out the better of that? And why is it Jota? Look, I mean, it is Jota. He's scoring goals. He's breaking records. Was he the first Liverpool player in something like 50 or 60 years to score in his first 4 games at Anfield? So far, you have to say it has been Jota. It was a very questionable decision at the time, but look, he had it right. And the full-time whistle has gone in Madrid. Real Madrid have ran out 2-0 winners against Atletico Madrid. A massive win for them and a big result in terms of the title race there. Real now just 3 points behind their local rivals, but Atletico still have a game in hand. That is Atletico's first defeat of the season, and they've conceded as many goals tonight as they did in the season so far. And Stefan Savic, he's not happy. He's having to be calmed down here by Diego Simeone. Thomas saying, would love to see Judas's face if Ledley got the Spurs job. Gold. Michael saying, Matt, despite my negative disposition with Jose, he could actually grow in against Liverpool. If his philosophy is right, then perhaps I need to start believing in him, and believe me, I want to. Yeah, look, it's no one will blame you for finding it hard to buy into this, because if you have been a Spurs fan for so long, like I said, you're used to seeing this type of football. It's perhaps the Pochettino football was the epitome of all that, because it's when it was the most influential and all that. So it's entirely understandable if you can't buy into Jose's philosophies and all that. But the thing is, it's clear that you're supporting the manager. You may not agree with him, but you're supporting him. You're getting behind him, and that's all anyone can ask of you. And look, if we get a trophy or two, I'm sure you'll find it a lot easier then. Mark Shepherd saying, is it conceivable in your mind that we could be empty-handed come the end of the season? Look, of course it is. It absolutely is. there are just so many teams in England that can win trophies that every single season is going to be a big club empty-handed. There's going to be a fantastic team empty-handed. It happens every year. It's inevitable. But we just have to make sure it's not us. But of course, the possibility will always be there. The English Yid saying, my best goal I've seen was Gaza against the Gunners and Bale's goal against West Ham. Kwame saying, I don't think we need a player like Dembele because he's injury prone. XG saying Dele's goal against West Ham was superb. Paul O'Driscoll saying, honestly, what do you think the problem is at Arsenal? The players, the manager, or the board? Is it bad if I say all three? Look, Arteta is a good manager. He's a good coach. He knows football. There's no doubt about that. You know, the words that Pep Guardiola had to say about him when he left, I don't think they can go unnoticed. He doesn't have a particularly good squad there. They're good players, but they're not working together as a good team. The board is definitely an issue. I know they invested quite a bit of money in the summer, and they did really well to get that party deal over the line on deadline day, but they're not doing enough. And like, you have to question Arteta as well in what's going on now with Mesut Ozil. And I know there's principles behind it. There's standards that need to be upheld at the club. But at the end of the day, I think what happens on the pitch needs to come first. And right now, you're missing a creative player in the middle of the park. You know, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's only scored one goal from open play this season, but he hasn't missed a single big chance. And just before I get more on this, it is all over now at Goodison Park. Everton have beaten Chelsea by 1-0. Massive result for Spurs. We'll get more into that and what it means for the Premier League table a little bit later, but it's all over in both games. Everton 1, Chelsea 0, and Real Madrid 2, Atletico Madrid 0. But yeah, what happens on the pitch, Paul, needs to come first, and you need a creative player. You're not creating any chances, and fair enough, you can criticise Aubameyang for his lack of goals. You can criticise Lacazette, who has been dreadful for the last 6-12 months, but there's no one on the pitch who's creating the chances for them, and that has to be the first thing that needs to be addressed. And it's going to be difficult to address that in the transfer window, especially in the January window. But the fact remains that there is a player there who is capable of changing that. And look, I know it's a lot easier for me to say on the outside. I know that there are probably a lot of Arsenal fans who would disagree with me, but I really do think Mesut Ozil needs to be back on that team. Rob saying, if all the Premier League managers at present had a scrap, who do you think would win? All I'd say is I would be terrified of Slaven Bilic. I think he wins that every day of the week. Flamethrower, how much do you think we can get for Rose, Gaza, Sanchez, and would it be enough for Skriniar? I don't think it would be enough for Skriniar, but it would definitely go a long way in raising a lot of money for it. I think with the money we already have available, that would carry us over the line for getting that deal done. In Nurse saying, why does Lamela always get injured? I don't know. When I'd rather he didn't, but it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. Martin saying, AVB style was really boring and also not very successful. Bale carried us during that horrible stint. Absolutely, I agree with you on that one. Now look, let's take a quick look at the Premier League table and how it currently stands after Everton's victory against Chelsea. It definitely makes good reading for Spurs fans. Chelsea stay in third on 22 points, 2 points behind Liverpool and Spurs going into tomorrow's games. Spurs, of course, visit Selhurst Park, while Liverpool make the trip to London to face Fulham. Both now, of course, having a game in hand with Chelsea, chance to build a 5-point gap on the Londoners. Everton move up to 7th. Things look a lot better for them right now after that win. Again, I know a lot of teams around them have a game in hand, but they're now just 2 points behind Chelsea, only 4 points off the top of the table. So all of a sudden, are they back in the title race? Who knows? It's the strange season, a very strange season where, of course, anything can happen. But Chelsea, only their second defeat of the season. They'll be very, very disappointed with that one. Everton, good for them to get back to winning ways. 2 wins now in their last 5. Paul saying, it's funny how we have reversed our problems considering how many creative players we had at the end of the Arsene Wenger era. And look, I completely agree with you. And for all the criticism Arsene Wenger got, and the majority of it was deserved, and I'm going to try and be as unbiased as I possibly can here. A lot of it was undeserved because when Wenger came into English football, people said he was 10 years ahead of his time, which he absolutely was. But the problem was he never changed. He stayed there for, 22 years. And all of a sudden, by the time he sacked, he is 10 years behind his time. And the Arsenal board didn't do him a favour by holding on to him for so long. I think that the longer he stayed there, obviously the more Arsenal fans turned against him and the more he kind of tarnished his reputation there. But the one thing that he doesn't get credit for is, aside from the fact that he consistently got that team into the top 4 when the players were useless, when the board was letting him down and not building the squad that he needed, he consistently got them into the top 4. But the squad that he left behind him was a very, very strong squad. he made some fantastic signings in the year or two before he left, and he left behind a really strong squad there, which I think in the early stages of Unai Emery's time there, it kind of glossed over his flaws. So I think Wenger deserves a lot more credit than he got, but he completely reversed the problems. I agree with you on that one. Michael saying, unfortunately, Poch's team is probably the best Premiership team not to win the league. They were fantastic to watch, and the fairy tale journey to the Champions League final was amazing. Aside from that Liverpool team that didn't win it, when I finished on, it was at 98 points. I think we were probably maybe the second best not to win it. Thomas saying, cheers, Matt. Magic watch along. Thank you on a boring Saturday night, sir. Thank you very much for tuning in, Thomas. I really appreciate the support. And Vamshidar, massive £5 super sticker from you, Vamshidar. I know it's not the first time you've come in with one of those. So I really do appreciate it, saying keep it up with that sticker. Thank you very much, Vamshidar. I really appreciate it. Rob saying, obviously it's winter now, but when was the last time you saw a butterfly? They're not around as much anymore. Well, we were inside for the summer. We were inside. We didn't get to see them when they were out. Probably the most interesting comment I got all night, Rob, I won't lie. Zoidberg saying, haha, let's all laugh at Chelsea. Big disappointment for them, losing tonight to Everton by 1-0. The English Shade, first of all, Martin Hawkins saying, I'm out, thanks for a great show. Thank you very much for tuning in, Martin. I do appreciate it. The English Shade saying, what do you think of the bad press we are getting from Sky Sports pundits, but never giving us credit? It's disappointing. It is frustrating. But look, we are going under the radar, and I think that can do us good in the long run, because teams aren't really taking us seriously. And if we go under the radar, it's going to be a lot easier to pull something out at the end of the season. But I think, the longer we go into the season, if we do keep performing to this standard and keep getting out the results that we are getting, I think it is only a matter of time before people start to realise they were wrong about us. Ryan saying, just tuned in since I had work. Chelsea losing is huge, and we need to win tomorrow to keep the lead. Well, thanks for joining, Ryan. And yeah, it's a massive opportunity for us to get some daylight on Chelsea tomorrow. A win will, of course, put us 5 points clear of them. And then we face Liverpool on Wednesday surprisingly, after our last couple of weeks, what will be the biggest game of our season so far. It's certainly going to be a very interesting watch, and there's nothing we need more than a win tomorrow against Palace going into that, because I'd be very surprised if Liverpool didn't beat Fulham. Kwame saying, since I know myself as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, this is the year I never got fear of any club in UK or Europe. Something good is coming. I agree with you. I think we can beat anyone on our day at the moment, and it's exciting to see. Peter saying, we got 2 good results today, win tomorrow. Absolutely, 2 fantastic results for us, with United and City dropping points, and now Chelsea being beaten by Everton. Also saying, Sky Sports hates Jose, Kane and Spurs. Rob saying, who do you believe is the weak link in the starting 11 and why? I don't know if we have a weak link in our starting 11. I think we can improve at the back, but I wouldn't say there is a weak link in there. The only position I'd say in our team that isn't that we don't have a definitive starter for, like, there 10 players out of that 11, who's going to be starting there when everyone is fit. But I think right wing we probably could improve, and maybe another attacking midfielder if we do want to play a different style of football. But I wouldn't say we have any weak links, but there are areas we can improve. Matthew Jennings saying, I was high up in the cop when Edmund hit that goal, stood up, arms aloft. Kwame saying, is Christian Eriksen coming back? Highly unlikely. And Michael saying, now here's the challenge, Chelsea lose, but can we take advantage? Normally no, so roll on and another tense final tomorrow. Look, typically we have been disappointing when we have the chance to take advantage of teams dropping points, but hopefully we can change that tomorrow when we do visit Crystal Palace. Now I won't be live for the game tomorrow because I am working, but hopefully we'll have a live stream tomorrow night to reflect, fingers crossed, on a victory at Selhurst Park. Just take a quick look at the numbers. We've had nearly 6,000 people joining us tonight, which is absolutely massive. I really do appreciate that from all of you. Dara Grady saying, great job, Matt. Looking forward to Wednesday night's episode. Do you know what? So am I, Dara. So am I. Look, thank you very much to the 6,000 of you who have joined me. It's been an absolute pleasure watching Chelsea lose each night, and of course that Madrid derby as well. If you have enjoyed this stream, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out, and it helps me gauge if you do like these non-Spurs Premier League watch-alongs. I don't know, for the most part it did turn into Spurs stream with all the chat, but thank you as well to Rob, Paul, Dara, Dean, Martin, everyone from work who did join the stream as well. It is massively appreciated. I know you don't like listening to me to Spurs when I'm in there, so the fact that you do it in your own time as well, it certainly means a lot. To everyone else who has watched, as always, thank you very much.
Listen, I'll sum it up for you. Subscribe to Matt Hayes right now. Follow the membership. Join the club. This man is going to follow. He's going to bring Tottenham to new heights. He's going to become a pundit. He's going to represent us, all right? If you're tired of Clown Sports FC, you're tired of ESPN FC, get on this board right now, bro, because we need a Tottenham pundit, and Matt Hayes is the next Tottenham pundit, so support him right now.